everyone to PMPL South Asia 2023, day number 4 in spring season. And my name is Shadow. Alongside me is going to be Blotter. Blotter, how excited are you? Day number 4, 50% matches are already over. Only 2 days left, 10 matches left for the bonus match.
Absolutely, and it is definitely going to be an historic day today because after all, this is day number 4. We've been talking about it, Shadow, that from the starting, now perhaps is the day where we should be able to see those teams that are sitting on the second page of the leaderboard and at the bottom of the leaderboard to maybe try and show some resilience or something. I'm not entirely sure, but fingers crossed, hoping for the best for an exciting day, definitely.
Well, definitely it's going to be an exciting day because by now all the teams have started to showcase their best performance, or the teams who were not performing on day number 1, they have also started performing. Even a few of the most consistent team in the lobby like 4MV, Stalwart Esports. Stalwart, do you think they'll get a chicken dinner on day number 4 because they are yet to get one?
They have to, right? You pointed this out yesterday as well. They have to get a chicken dinner. There is no two ways about it. There is no denying it that that team is definitely graceful as it progresses along into the battleground. But that is not all that we want. We want that chicken dinner, and today they better be able to get one. With that, of course, let's get the day started. Let's talk about the schedule. We're in, of course, right now, we're on the 25th of March, which is a Saturday, which is part of League Stage Week 1. Tomorrow will be the final day for week 1, which will be day number 5, and then we shall move into, of course, a league stage week 2 and then into week 3. But then once week 3 is done, only 16 teams in April, 14th through 16th will be the grand finals that's going to be played out. So yeah, we've got a lot of exciting weeks coming up ahead, but alongside that, of course, Shadow, the massive prize pool, that is what, of course, allows these players to stay motivated throughout the entirety of a month-long event.
Well, certainly the prize pool is going to be very huge. 80,000 US dollars is on the stakes. The MVP is going to get 1,000 US dollars, and for just playing the league stage, every single team is going to get 2,000 US dollars. So even for the attendance, you are going to get something. And we can already see the point distribution. Also, the bonus points are the main thing that teams need to focus on, because on the 5th day of every week, there is going to be a bonus match, and only top 12 teams will get the chance to play that bonus match of weekendy.
Absolutely, that will be showcased tomorrow. That we will also see for the first time tomorrow itself, because Vikendi is coming back after a really long time. But of course, if we are going to expect something, which is, of course, the top 12 teams should be the best in the lobby. We've got, of course, 20 teams in total that are participating, but may the best of the best be a part of the top 12 so as to have an exciting Vikendi. With that, we do have the basic point structure that's going to be played out throughout the entirety of the game itself, throughout the entirety of the day, and the matches that are going to progress. Chicken dinner gets you 10 points. Moving on down to the second position, of course, runner-up is going to be walking away with 6. On to the third, of course, is going to be 5 points, and then going all the way down till 8th position, 7th and 8th do walk away with 1 point. But then after that is the most critical thing, that 9th to 16th position, they now do not get any placement point at all. And that is something wherein so many teams are not able to understand or cope up with that sort of a change. And of course, working towards those placement points is not the best strategy. But today is definitely hopefully going to be a different playstyle coming in from the teams.
Well, certainly different play style, and looks like the MVP this time, this season, is going to be the point structure. And talking about the overall ranking, the team that has adapted themselves according to the recent point structure is 4MV. Very consistent team in terms of the elimination and the placement points, 136 points on the top. Then we have Stalwart Esports with no chicken dinner, but still a very consistent performance, very aggressive performance. In fact, that is showcased in the elimination points. Also 70 eliminations, total of 99 points. But few teams are still on the bottom. Seal Esports, Bad Intention, Elementrix Esports, big names coming in. Deadeye on the 16th spot with only 46 points.
Absolutely. And then as we move ahead again, a few teams that I do want to point out, of course, as you said, guys, Raw Officials right below them, of course, on the 17th position, Seal, Bad Intentions, Elementrix Esports. These are teams that, of course, today should be able to rise up to the occasion and bring up their gameplay, as well as the points that are missing from them on the table itself, to get a little bit more closer to that top 12 position. And of course, it is not going to be an easy task, but most certainly the name, the caliber that the name and the organizations move ahead with, they definitely have the capability, and that is all that I want to be able to see today.
Well, certainly they do have the capability. Even the players are also very old veteran players of their region. They have been playing the game of PUBG Mobile in the competitive scenario since a very long time. But looking at the head-to-head between T2K and High Voltage, well, T2K, they had a decent run in terms of the elimination points. Also, they are getting good elimination points also. So on the other side, High Voltage, I feel, was more consistent as compared to T2K.
Well, again, look at the damage received coming in from high voltage. Only 3,893 damage basically implies the thing that we've been saying from day one. High voltage knows exactly how to read the zone and then make a rotation across. On the other front, of course, for T2K, they were part of fights. I mean, they were going haywire all across, and that is something that we saw from them as well. Getting so close to their chicken dinners in the first few days itself was definitely a tremendous effort from T2K's side. But again, all in the end, these two teams, like you perfectly mentioned, Shadow, are the ones that have definitely been so very consistent as we've progressed from day one onwards.
Well, certainly, day number 1 was fantastic for High Voltage and T2K as well. But day number 2 is where T2K started falling down by getting only 18 points in their hands. On the other side, High Voltage, they grabbed 22 points. Day number 3 was fantastic for the players of High Voltage as well as for the players of T2K as well. So day number 2 is definitely the reason because of which T2K right now they're standing on the 7th spot, but High Voltage are on the 5th. Overall, fantastic performance from both these teams, consistent performance.
Absolutely, only 3 points shy. I mean, both of these teams, right? So
Yeah.
again, there is still a lot more that can be said from these teams, and also what to expect from them for today's game. Of course, with that, let's also move on ahead and talk about the team that is leading the charge. That's going to be 4 Miracle Vibes. The players Refuse, Doc, Apex, and East. Now, all of these lads, you look at the elimination counter, it is definitely bonkers for Doc because he's sitting at 32, comes down south towards East. Well, come down south towards East, whatever that means. We're looking at East, the player, he's sitting with 22 eliminations. So yeah, you can definitely look at the synergy with which the team of course 4MV has played the games that have been allotted to them thus far. This is only 3 days in, and they've already crossed the 100 marker in front as far as the points are concerned. So definitely a team that you should be keeping an eye out for as we progress on in the league.
Well, certainly, but on the other hand, Leo Esports compared to day number 1 and day number 2, we saw a drastic fall in their performance on day number 3. They got only 14 points, half of what which they were getting on day 1 and day number 2. So this is something that was very shocking, and let's hope Leo Esports, they have recovered themselves. They realized what is happening wrong. Either it's the read the opponents are having, or either it's the synergy between the players. So I'm very sure and hoping that Leo Esports will make a comeback on day number 4.
Most hopeful that is, and again, that is an expectation based on what we saw from them on day 1. And with that, now we move on ahead as we do have the prediction counter right below us, and it is time to predict. Oh, along with that, one of the biggest things that I do love about today is the fact that Saturdays, it is a chiller day because we've got 3 Erangels that are going to be played out today, so definitely looking forward to that. But now, let's jump into the prediction itself. Shadow, you get off and you tell us what team are you going to be choosing for the first game today.
It's not going to be so easy. The very first match, it's the OG map, Erangel.
Yes.
I want to go with Stalwart Esports. I don't know. Stalwart Esports, they should get 1 chicken dinner, and day number 4, I have a feeling this day they are going to get at least 1. So Stalwart Esports.
Alright, Stalwart Esports it is, coming in from Shadow as her prediction. Bhavna has set it in stone. From my side, I was eyeing Stalwart Esports in the initialization of this conversation, but now I move on to IHC. That is a team that before the entire league started, we were having a conversation in the green room itself, and I was like, you know what, I believe by the end it is going to be IHC that's going to be leading the charge. It is a tough prediction right here because IHC, they're going to have to make some really tough decisions as they progress with day number 4. With that, let's also of course talk about the beautiful skins that are now available in the game. The promo is already set up, so let's have a look at this one. Well, there we have it. Again, what a beautiful every single season. There's so much more to offer that comes in from the PUBG gods right here in game, and again, those in game items and the things that you can just bling across the entirety of the map. It is most certainly a worthy thing to have in your account. But with that, Shadow, I've come to the realization that I'm not going to start the prediction with IHC. I am going to request producers to change my prediction to High Voltage Esports from Nepal. It is going to be high voltage prediction coming in from Blotter. But right now, let's jump into the game. Of course, we do have the military base right on the right hand side of our screens, which means we're going to be starting from the western side of the map, mostly towards the southwestern side of the map. And of course, pretty much dissecting the map in equal halves. And it all boils down to where the zone is going to be created. Till now, Shadow, we've not really seen a military base zone. Do you anticipate today being the Erangel day? It could very well start off with something like that.
As long as the bridge is in the final circle, I would love to see a military base circle. Otherwise, no. I'm so bored of military base circle because last season, if you remember, Blotter, when you and I were doing the Pakistan season, we saw so many military base circles.
Oh,
This
yes.
season, no, no. Big no to military base final circles.
Well, that definitely is the right call. Thank you so much for getting that set up right there on stream recorded, basically, because I also was done with the military base. And therefore, right now, I would take the call and be like, this time around, take us to Georgia. I mean, take us all the way north to Georgia. That is where I would love to see a lot of chaos taking place between the teams. But as of now, of course, we know we're on the map of Erangel. And on the map of Erangel, one thing we've spoken about time and time again is the fact that all the teams know where they're going to be going towards. They're all dissected already. There's no early contestations that can be anticipated, or there can be based on the varied changes that they bring in. Like this time around, we can see high voltage. They've got the two-man split going on for themselves, and it is working out perfectly as two of them have already gotten into vehicles, so are going to be moving slowly, perhaps towards the center of the zone. But again, along with that, if we look towards the Milta or the Lipovka region, we've got Mabitex keeping a very clean sheet away from the entirety of the squads that are in the lobby. Down south from them is going to be IHC. Now, talk about IHC. I mean, this is a team that loves to go towards Georgia, but this time around, and in fact, earlier during previous tournaments, we've seen IHC actually decide with this same flight path to go down towards the Gatka region and then find themselves vehicles and rush towards North Georgia or the South Georgia, my apologies. But this is something that we've seen a change from their side as well. This time around, going and starting from Milta Power.
Hmm. Well, you sometimes have to bring something new to the game because if your opponents know your exact drop location, maybe there is a chance of a drop location clash happening, as we saw with the loss of Leo Esports happening yesterday. But looks like Blotter, the PUBG gods have heard your press. We might be able to see a Georgia Pool final circle, and if that is going to happen, I think the two teams who are going to be very happy are going to be DE Venom, as they are towards the western coastline of the map, and Leo Esports because they are around the Gachka city. But talking about the players of TRZ, well, TRZ yesterday they showcased good performance in terms of the aggression, initial aggression, I have to say, because they were not able to survive in the game for very long. Yes, we did witness a 1v4 coming from the side of Madcat as well. But other than that, placement points and survival is something that TRZ needs to focus on because 4v4 fights, they're able to win. Still, the survival game is not working for them.
Absolutely, and that is something that they are going to have to try and change as drastically and swiftly as they can. But overall though, TRZ, they've had a really good run till now. I'd say. I mean, the way Mad Cat has showcased his skills so many times, standing out in the fight and leading the charge. Actually, being the Dhoni of the team and just going on for those sixes is something that, of course, the TRZ team needed. And of course, with the backing of Mamba in the backgrounds, with their teammates, it helps them out in some really precarious situations. And if the teammates are not there, Mad Cat is still going to go YOLO and guns blazing and going to be able to clear the entirety of the site for the team itself. But again, moving away from them, now talk about bad intentions. Now this is the team that has had a lot of tough luck situations that they've gotten themselves stuck in.
Well, Certainly, bad intention. Talking about this particular team yesterday in Erangel, also did see how the team was in a split situation. They were segregated so much that they were not able to survive for very long. In fact, they were out there in the blue and they were picking up the fights. That was something very shocking. When you're in the blue and you're deciding to pick up a fight with the team that is already ahead of you, obviously they are going to keep you, and that is exactly what happened. So bad intention, nothing is working for them right now. They have to grab those elimination points, they have to grab those placement points, because they are right at the bottom of the overall leaderboard.
Indeed, they definitely are. And things are needing a drastic change from their side as well. Again, on day number 4, the names that are sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard are just not even showcasing the resilience that they should be, proving in the battleground, and the hunger that they should be showcasing. That is something that's kind of been missing from few of them. Raw is one exception, though. RAW is one that has definitely, taken the moment by a storm, and a quick storm that is, because Raw has decisively, participated in fights, and then similarly kind of fallen back as well. Overall, though, Raw's climb is looking very, very good. Same can be said for Mabitex as well, because earlier we were looking at Mabitex just making good rotations, getting into the zone or the edges of the zone, being a little bit of a dormant player in the entirety of the lobby. They've changed that pace as well, which works out beautifully because of again, the points that they've been able to accumulate, the number of elimination points, along with the position that they're sitting on, looking very secure.
Well, certainly, talking about Raw Esports, day number 1, only 3 points to their name. That was something very shocking. But they recovered themselves on day number 2, and after that, their graph has been linear, because day number 3 also they had 25 points in their hands. Very impressive as compared to day number 1. On the other side, Maptex Esports, not so consistent, because day number 2 they got only 7 points. That was something very shocking, because day number 1 Maptex was all over the board, grabbing 32 total points for themselves, and suddenly there is a downfall coming in on day number 2, but they recovered themselves on day number 3 as well. So Maptex definitely looking very strong right now in terms of the rotations. Also, every single time, the way, especially in the map of Miramar, the way Maptex goes for the rotation and always have a higher ground for themselves. So definitely Maptex look very promising in Miramar, but I have to see a strong performance from their side in Erangel also yet.
Definitely. And talking about strong performances, DEADEYES, guys, a team that has been, slowly but surely been on the rise and the climb right here. We had been questioning the DEADEYES guys' performance as the league started, but overall, the slow and steady climb that they've showcased definitely showcases, a little bit of a, again, the same thing can be said, the hunger that is needed from their side, that was missing from their side, sitting on the 16th position as of now. There's still a lot of improvement that can be anticipated from DEADEYES, guys, and they have started delivering. But along with that, it seems like Leo Esports are going to be the ones who are going to be starting the first blood situation right here against the players of T2K, where Sayog, he's caught behind this small little rock. He's absolutely no idea that this height dummy from Leo Esports is setting up on top and just slowly bursting damage away. And T2K's Sayog apparently seems to be all by his lonesome right now. Smoke wall definitely going to be able to help him out so much, but then he needs to run away from that area. If he's got no vehicle, then it's just hard luck situation that he's going to be stuck in before hopefully his teammates jump in to help him out. And there we have it, teammates right on time, right on call. They're going to jump in around, and of course Batman and Robin are going to be moving away.
Well, certainly T2K, the player has survived for now, but the information has already been passed to the players of Leo Esports, and the way they are damaging the vehicles of the players of T2K, maybe in the later stages they need to have more vehicles, because if it tends to go towards the side of Gatka final circle, it's going to be a very open field, and vehicles are definitely going to come very handy for you. Right now, the players of Leo Esports, they're being the king of the hills. They have the entire control of the big mountain of the Georgiapur area. They also have the information onto the players of NB Esports. So Leo Esports definitely capitalizing on the information that is required in this particular circle. But talking about the rotations that are coming in from the eastern front, so many teams are trying to rotate. That is where the players of I8 and High Voltage can capitalize and gatekeep all these teams and grab those elimination points.
Indeed, but look at the late rotation coming in from the side of Stalwart Esports. I mean, now they've started making rotation from from their known drop location of No Rapnoi. But I wonder what exactly the master plan over here is. Let the other teams fight and then we'll jump in. Well, it has worked out earlier as well. Same is the case that can be said from the side of Mabitex as well, that are moving on from south. Oh, my apologies, from north to south towards the zone from the shooting range, and that of course they're also close knit with another team as well. So few teams that are making them very late rotations, but things are going to be troublesome for them as they jump into the zone itself. But as of now, we do have high voltages Malik trying to spot out the players of IHC as they make rotation. Demo being sprayed on upon with a Scarl in his hand. Sadly, he's not going to be able to make any connection as of yet, as Malik is going to have to fall back into his vehicle and try and find a different route out of here, perhaps.
Well, certainly he's might go for a different route for the rotation. But talking about the players of high voltage, they dropped around the city of Rozak. That is where the players of DEADEYES were also there. So definitely high voltage in terms of the loot and the resources are looking decent, but they're still going for the secondary loot towards the smaller compounds, towards the ruins area. So even this team, high voltage, they have been very consistent blotter in terms of the points they have been accumulating for themselves on day number 1, day number 2, and day number 3. Not so shabby performance at all as compared to the players of IHC. IHC day number 2 was entirely not in their favor, but day number 3 they made a fantastic comeback by getting a winner chicken dinner also.
Absolutely, and today's anticipation from the fans, of course, is going to be that IHC lead the charge or at least get closer to 4MV. That's for sure, and that is something that we've seen the approach from IHC. And the biggest thing over here is the change that they've showcased in terms of how they want to be playing the game, and the guns blazing attitude that they had on day one has changed now, and that is definitely helping them. But at the same point in time, sticking to the zone edges, let's see if in today's game if it will be the same sort of a play, easy play for them or not, because we can see that they've already come across a few teams. High voltage was one to name. Another one that they just crossed over is SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, who are entering the who are entering the zone as well, right next to IHC. And in front, we can see Illuminate Crew has also joined into the party. So a lot of teams that IHC are going to have to cover over, and they seemingly don't even have a compound. And there we have it. I mean, SG's AJ has dropped Alex down. No confirmed defeat point confirmed yet.
Well, certainly Godless is going for the revival, necessary revival, but that is not going to happen because no fear comes in. But Godless is going to deal with him with his arm and is looking for the confirmation point as well. But AJ is definitely there. That is going to give some trouble to Godless, and he finds a knock onto AJ as well. And now SKYLIGHTZ, who were looking so strong, now they are down to 2 men, as 2 men are still reeling. Necessary revivals are needed in this situation, but Mafia Ninja is a bit far away from his teammates. Nima is all by himself dealing with the players of IHC, and Alex is still bleeding. Godless has taken a hefty damage from the grenades that are coming from the side of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. Nima.
Well, again, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, I mean, they are the ones who are leading the charge, but Nima, where exactly did he think he was going? He's not going to be going anywhere, but the exit of the lobby is what he's going to be showcased right there from the side of IHC, as IHC stand their ground. They've been able to get their teammate revived as well. With one defeat point already confirmed, SG has been pushed on the other side. We've got, of course, Stalwart against SG right here, where Stalwart's player, well, again, we're jumping from one fight to the other. We've got IHC's Yol right now being compromised in that compound, and that small little area that is going to be stuck in. There's nowhere for him to run and out, and therefore 4MV is going to be able to get a better chunk of IHC, as Godless and Demo are the only 2 players surviving. Godless on a sliver of HP is going to go down as well. It's all down to Demo, and Demo can find nothing but a tree trunk to try and hide behind, to try and cover his face, because all of his teammates have been lost in a matter of minutes just prior to what we witnessed right now. And of course, right around in the vicinity, we do see Stalwart has taken charge right here at the church. Along with that, Mafia Ninja from SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is caught out all by his lonesome. But thankfully, of course, Stalwart's action decides to make a run for it early, and that allows SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, Mafia Ninja to get out, hopefully find a vehicle, as he can also stick to the edges of the zone. It's very close. He can actually make a run for it as well right now.
Well, the blue was definitely coming in. That is the reason the players of Stalwart Esports were moving inside the zone. And while doing so, they spotted demo of IHC. The man who was trying to hide for his life for the placement points now has been eliminated. And IHC on day number 4, again not having a very good start, been eliminated at the 15th spot with only 1 point to their name. On the other side, Stalwart Esports, they have got one more elimination point, total of 3 elimination points in their favor. Now, Stalwart Esports, they are looking to gatekeep the players of maybe SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, Mafia Ninja. On the other side, 4MV, well, they are already ready for their rotation, already looking for a spot inside the circle because they still have 14 teams, 53 players alive, and this is phase 4 circle. It's not going to be so easy to survive in this particular circle.
Absolutely, and look at it. I mean, there are so many teams who are sticking out in the blues, and that is in turn making it very, very troublesome for them to get into the zone. But what a perfect spray coming in right here from East for 4MV, and this is the reason why 4MV, the team, every single player just contributes and contributes and contributes, and that is what led them all into a destructive mode as they find themselves on the top of the leaderboard. But right now we've got RAW against the players of Venom DE, and a perfect Molotov along with, of course, Nade is being cooked right here from Zordi. Let's see if he's going to be able to connect or not. Of course, from the side of Venom DE, we can see that the few of the players have been down. They're getting the revival, but it's all down to how exactly is Raw creating an opening right here. And now, fourth player from DE. What a perfect nade. The early cooked nade coming in from Zordi has finally made a massive chunk of damage and delivering it to Kreta right there. So no 1, 2 players have been downed, and of course with that Kreta has received quite a lot of damage. It is of course Domi from Venom DE who's right now the MVP for the team, just holding it steady, holding it firm for the side of the team. But along with that, of course, from the side of Raw, I mean, this is a destructive mode that they are showcasing. From one side it's Zordi, from the other side it's Claw, and a perfect synchronized push coming in as once again they bring down 2 of the players. It's all boiling down to the final player who boils down, but it's not going to do anything, and Relay is also going to be eliminated right here. So Relay gets out. With that, Venom DE are done for, and Dunzos it is, because Raw, they are here to master the lobby in a class 101 as to how to make a push and how to stand your ground.
Well, certainly the improvement that has been showcased by the players of Raw officials is very impressive. They've just won an outnumbered fight, but on the other side, we have the players of Stalwart Esports going up against the players of 4MV, and looks like Tops has been knocked down. This is not going to be so easy to revive him out there in the open. On the other side, we have the players of Maptex also doing a third party and dwindling down the numbers of Stalwart Esports, and Tops has been eliminated. 4MV Apex gets a confirmation as well. Now 4MV looking very strong, 6 defeat points, but on the other side, Stalwart Esports, they have been down to only one man. That is going to be IC, who is trying to make a quick escape, running for his life. On the other side, Doc also finds the players of Bad Intention. Bad Intention again out there in the open, so much segregated, and their numbers are coming down as one player has been knocked down, the other one has been confirmed. This is something very shocking from the side of Bad Intention.
Well, Bad Intentions, they're just not able to hold their ground firm and steady. Right here, we can clearly see 4MV with a perfect synchronized push coming in, with the nades also being so very destructive right there for Bad Intentions. There is probably going to be the end for them, and there it is, with the final blow coming in from Apex with his nade. It is going to be Bad Intentions leaving the lobby with only 10 teams remaining right here. 4MV are already on top with 10 defeats confirmed for their side. I mean, this team is just a complete rock star when it comes to this spring season's PMPL South Asia. But along with that, there are still other teams apart from 4MV. We've got TRZ holding sturdy and firm in that compound. Along with that, what we just saw and witnessed, Raw Zordi, he is in a class of its own, because earlier, along with his teammate, he showcased us how to do a 2v4, and now he's teaching us how to do a 1v3, as it destructively, of course, obliterates the positioning of NV Esports from this lobby. But hey, High Voltage, they're still very, very quiet. They're still part of the lobby with 0 defeats confirmed. They're on part of the compound as well. So the safety net has been created for High Voltage. But look at Seal and their positioning as we just saw the map. They are towards the northern side. They've got the entirety of the north covered, Seal Esports. But one thing that they're doing wrong that we discussed earlier as well is they're scattered. They're far away. If one of the players is dropped down, then that knock can easily be confirmed into an elimination, and other players are not going to be able to do much. But never mind, we'll come back to Seal Esports, as right now on our screens, it is going to be T2K and their compound being, poked around by Leo Esports.
Well, certainly Leo might go up against the players of T2K, and if that happens, Rig needs to be a bit careful as he's overcommitting or overextending in this particular fight. He's out there in the open, so he needs to be a bit careful. On the other side, Deadeye guys, they eliminated the players of Raw officials. Only 2 men standing from the side of Raw have been eliminated after delivering a fantastic performance, and look like Mr. Smokey has spotted down Rig, and Rig with a 40 HP needs to be a bit careful of this grenade that might be a perfect, nearly perfect grenade, and Rig has been taken down by this grenade, and follow-up grenade coming in from the side of Mr. Smokey could be the reason for his demise, and that is exactly happening right now as T2K now down to 3 men. Leo Esports having the numbers advantage. Jane is also out there in the open. T2K needs to be a bit careful as the players of Leo Esports are trying to surround them. At the same time, we have the players of DEADEYES guys are also doing a third party, and Sandesh was caught out in the open, instantly shut down. But Jane with a vehicle trying to distract the players of Deadeye guys, and Seok is looking for the knock and the confirmation onto Shifu sir, and now Deadeyes who were looking for the hunt now are being hunted by the players of T2K.
Well, T2K, I mean, the fight they took right there, that was a very chaotic one, because from one side, of course, one of the players was leading the charge, but on the other 3 players that are on our screens right now, as we just saw, took down the players of Deadeyes guys, and that in turn, of course, changed the fight from one side to the other, and that of course helped T2K at least for now, because they've been able to get elimination points, defeat points for themselves, and push on into the game. Still very, very strong on the other side, as we do have TRZ on our screens. I mean, earlier we saw them in the compound, they're looking very comfortable, but only for the next 40-45 seconds, because the zone and the stage is going to be shifting to 6, and that in turn is going to be providing an opportunity for other teams to push on against the TRZ compound. But for now, on our screens, it is going to be 4 Metrical Vibes, a team that has been doing really well with 11 defeat points, no losses taken whatsoever. They scattered all across from the edge, southern edge of the zone towards the center. 4 Metrical Vibes as well, they're trying to slowly push in from the south as well. But TRZ, this is where it is going to be drawn out. If TRZ can play it perfect and they can stop the team in front of them, then 4MV, then there could be a possibility that 4MV lose out. Otherwise, the momentum that they have created with 11 defeats and 24 players still remaining for them to hunt down, it is a very, very promising game from 4MV. And high voltage, once again, they are quiet. They're not doing much though right now, just holding it steady, holding it firm, and hoping that, you know what, let the other teams fight, will be a part of the last one. And with that, TRZ Mad Cat once again proving why he's so very instrumental when it comes to the way TRZ love to play, and that opening that was required from there. Mad Cat created that. 4MB, a lot of players go down, but from the backside, third party being brought in from the side of high voltage Malek, as East from 4MB is going to be leading and hoping to just hold on to his self and hopefully one of their teammates. But no, he will not be able to revive, as he's lost out on quite a lot of them. Will he have the time? Yes, he will. TRZ, I thought TRZ would still come in ahead, but they've decided a different path because they've only got 1 man remaining. I thought that they could push in. Right was the moment right there for 4MV to be dropped down, but it seems like 4MV are still going to be able to move in ahead with 2 players still standing. But this game, the final fights that we are a part of right here in the Ruins region, this is a chaotic one where one fight takes place, another third party comes in and just completely swoops over your kill.
Well, certainly 4MV, but they were trying to come from the southern side. That is where exactly so many teams were also making their rotation. That is why 4MV was struggling. On the other side, the team that is having a very good position is Maptex Esports. They have, I think, complete eastern control of the Ruins area. Definitely high voltage is trying to challenge it out. So let's see if they can do so, because Leo Esports is also keeping a close eye onto the players of high voltage, and there could be a possibility of a third party happening. On the other side, we have the players of TRZ lobbing perfect grenades onto the players of 4MV. Now 4MV have been brought down to only a single man if he's not able to revive his teammate. But TRZ, well, they have been eliminated, and T2K CEO, look at him, he's right there in the center of so many teams, hiding it out, trying to survive. But for how long can he survive? And yes, you did mention that Seal Esports, they do have a good position, but they are way too scattered, and if there is a knock that comes in, there won't be any chances of revival that could follow up.
Absolutely, and that is something that troubles me. The way Seal Esports tries and strategizes it, and does not even change. You know, this is the fourth day, but never mind that. It seems like 4MV have troubles of their own, as Leo Esports have found them, and 4MV get eliminated. But never mind that. I mean, they've got 15 elimination points. I mean, that is just bonkers, and they get eliminated right here on the sixth spot. That is just absolutely Mamma Mia kind of a conversation coming in from 4MV for this PMPL because they have actually showcased that why are they the one leading the charge on the leaderboard with those 15 eliminations and getting eliminated on the sixth spot. But never mind that. Right now, we've got a little bit of action coming in. Hopefully from high voltage. They've already lost out on Assassins trying to create a flank and get some information early for that little field. But right now, it's 3-man army from high voltage. They've got zero eliminations as yet. With 5 teams remaining, I mean, in the area, you've got so many different angles that you have very careful of right now. The teams that are jumping from one to the other are the ones majority of them are towards the eastern side, navigate the entire squad is jumping in from the east flank of the zone that teams in the right side of the screen. Alright, it's going to be high voltage on top, it's going to be Leo's as well. So, quite a lot of trouble to win for Mavtex to get into the jump into the game and fight it out, get those elimination points improved and increased.
But look at the resources that Mavtex is having in their hands now. I think they're fantastic and very good in terms of resources and certain also high voltage. Just by those things, Mavtex high voltage give all of trouble each other to other teams. Obviously, so Mavtex is definitely the numbers are there, the resources are there. They're looking very good. Backs are almost clear. They're just waiting for the next circle, and the next circle is going to be that is Mavtex is going to try. And looks like high voltage, they're also struggling because one man has been taken down, and this time, this moment, the revival is going to be very crucial.
Absolutely. Jiggle was down there. We saw him being very close to his teammate. So revival will be right around for him. But sadly, they lost out on Assassin, man who always lead charge creates a very good opening. They lost out on him. They've got 0-0 defense as well. High voltage looking pretty tricky to convert this game as well. But this next punch right here from Esports. What a jump action coming in from back. And that
Esports. Like mentioned, they had time from the east side and other three teams might come up against each other. That's exactly what is happening. Valley, the perfect name teams front over there. They'll be confirmation with the follow net, and that's exactly going to happen. Now, East has been brought down to 3 let's say these three teams have their match and East might go up against each other. And the team that is going to be very happy and going to be blessed by this is going to be East because they are slowly.
angles, and I am definitely looking forward to some rivalries being created because on the map of Erangel, everybody knows their position, right? And if at all another team comes in to try and take that same exact spot, then you've got some really exciting masala that can be created in the starting moments of the game itself. But apart from all of that, first game done. Now we move on with the second game, of course, which is going to be played, like we said, on the map of Miramar. And for that, Shadow, what is your prediction going to be? What is your anticipation when it comes to the map of Miramar? A close net fight, or do you think it's going to be accelerated through and through?
Well, it's going to be definitely not going to be close net, because we have seen in the past in Miramar also teams face drop location clash that you were talking about. So many initial fights also are happening in the map of Miramar. It is definitely not a slow paced Miramar anymore after the change in the point structure. So definitely the aggression is going to be there from the very get go of the game.
Most certainly, and that is something I hope as well to see because that is what makes the game exciting, especially on the map of Miramar, where things kind of do slow down a little. The pace of the game slows down a little. That is something that, again, hopefully does not take place today. As soon as we jump into the game, there's a lot of action that can be showcased on the side of the teams. But overall, it is definitely fun and exciting to be a part of PMPL South Asia, especially this spring 2023, because so much has changed in the past 2 years that we've been a part of this. So much has changed in terms of the way the entire league used to be created earlier, and the teams and the play style from getting 20 points, 15 points per chicken dinner to now just 10 points. There's just a drastic difference in terms of the strategy that needs to be applied, and of course the skill set that you need to have to be a part of PMPL South Asia.
Well, certainly, the teams who more focused on the placement points earlier, now they have to change their game style. They have to adapt to the new meta where the elimination points are of prime importance. So that is why we can see few of the teams are really struggling. But slowly and slowly, they're adapting to the new meta. They are changing their game style, and I think by the start of week 2, every single team will start on a very aggressive note. Even the teams who are on the bottom right now, like Seal Esports, day number 1, Seal Esports was looking so passive, not performing at all. But today, Seal Esports showed signs of aggression. But looking at the schedule, now it's time for Miramar, where Group D will be sitting out. That means the teams IHC Esports, Maptex Esports, Leo Esports, and Seal Esports won't be playing this one.
Absolutely, and that implies the next upcoming question that Group E jumps in along. Of course, that means DRS Gaming, Elementrix Esports, Abrupt Slayers, SITM Esports, all of them are going to be part of the game. Now, based on how this is going to be played out, do you think, all right, you know what, we'll wait for the production's call, because it is going to be time for prediction. Yep, there we have it. It is time for prediction. And what I was going to say was, do you think ASL has a chance today to get back in the Miramar game and then get a chicken dinner? Or do you want to move ahead with a different team?
I'm going to pick a different team, but I do agree with you that Abrupt Slayers do have a chance of getting a winner-winner chicken dinner. If not a winner-winner chicken dinner, at least a very dominating performance in terms of the elimination, because Miramar is definitely one of the strong map of Abrupt Slayers. That is where they shine the most. But the team that I'm going to pick is going to be Stalwart Esports.
All right,
Again.
STE coming in from Bhavna Shaukin on the other side. From my side, for the prediction, I really want to be able to say ASL, but I don't know, somewhere I feel like 4 metrical vibes are going to be very hungry. So I'm going to go with 4MV for this prediction, because they're not going to be happy with what happened to them on the map of Erangel. And so perhaps this game, they would be the ones who, along with the 15 defeat momentum, are going to be pushing ahead. So perhaps, maybe, they might get a chicken dinner, but let's see. Let's see how exactly is this going to be played out, where exactly is the zone going to be, where exactly is the flight path going to be. And there we have it once again, leading us towards the most eastern side of the map itself. And the teams, I wonder, are they going to be going all the way towards El Pozo, Hacienda del Patron? Because till now, I've still not seen a proper Chumacera zone. I've still not seen a Vuela del Mar. And that, again, is seldom, but they are the most crunchiest ones. So let's see, where do you expect the zone, or where would you want to be looking at the zone and casting the game?
Maybe towards the northwestern front, towards Crater Fields or Ruins area, La Cobra area, somewhere on the extreme Campo Milta, because Southern Circle we did saw yesterday. Yes, definitely not entire Chumacera Circle or Valle del Mar Circle, but all in all, it was Southern Circle. So this time I
Right.
want somewhere towards the side of North, maybe Camp Miltar, or maybe towards the side of Ruins, or maybe towards the side of Oasis.
See, from what I've noticed, PUBG gods, they love to play with the player's mind, right? I mean, right now we can clearly see that the flight path is a majority of it divergent towards the eastern side of the map. And therefore, statistically it should be towards the west, but no, it's going to be in the center. All right, all right, well, this is going to be an easy peasy one for so many of these teams who've actually jumped in pretty much in the center of the zone. We've got DRS that we can see, we've got of course Elementrix right below them. Alongside that, we do have T2K. Along with that, high voltage are going to be going down south of the zone towards Picaro itself, I mean southern part of the zone itself towards Picaro, but ASL right around the corner. So quite a lot of teams who are in very close vicinity as of now. But what is DE doing? What are Deadeye's guys doing? They had a very varied drop towards the northeastern side of the zone. But never mind that, we've got SITM along with the Illuminate crew who are up against each other. Once again, a stalemate situation that we've been a part of earlier as well. Same two teams stuck in the same exact building with their other two teammates far away and trying to cover the flank angles. Exactly what we happened to see yesterday as well. But today, how exactly is SITM planning to play in and out? And never mind that, on the other side of the map altogether itself, it seems like the real soldiers, Rune Koji along with Yante, are going to be dropped down in the first minute of the game itself. That to none other than NB Esports, as they catch them out in the open without a weapon, without a vehicle. DRS lose out on two of their players.
And this is not at all good because DRS Gaming, they were struggling. Yes, they are able to perform in the match of Sanhok, but when it comes to Miramar, DRS are struggling, and with losing two players in that early stage of the game is definitely not going to help their case right now. But talking about I8 and SITM, yesterday we did see a valiant effort and fantastic performance from the side of Zero, where he almost clutched it out, but when it came down to a 1v1 fight, in the end he lost it, and because of which he was eliminated pretty early. But on the other side, we have Desert going up against Viper, and with the Thompson in action, eliminates Viper, dwindling down the numbers of I8 Esports. Now it's a 3v4 situation for the players of I8. They are definitely outnumbered in this fight. Day number one, both these teams are coexisting in the city of Los Leones, but now they're contesting each other, challenging each other out, and looks like the players of I8 are not looking good at all. Desert is definitely knocked out, but it's going to be an easy revival for him.
Well, again, that is what we would hope to see, but let's see for now how exactly is Illuminate crew going to be responding to this. They do by, of course, delivering a massive blow to Dobu, and not only that, he's going to be eliminated right here from the game altogether itself. So, of course, we do have Illuminate crew also getting away with one defeat point. So, 3 from either side, but QB with an AKM right here in his hand is going to be just pointing, and of course the sprays that he's been able to get, the early sprays pushing across, of course, Boozy, and that in turn is going to be at the end of Illuminate crew as they get eliminated with just that one defeat point. Along with that, of course, Dobu did lose from SITM, did lose his life in this fight, but that's okay because they did walk away with 4 defeat points in total, and it's all thanks to QB for what a valiant play that was. 3 defeat points, 3 peeps he was able to tone down, mow down, and of course get the points. So SSTM off to a great start right here on day number 4, match number 2.
Well, certainly a good start to the players of SITM. On the other side, we have the players of Stalwart Esports also. Well, Stalwart Esports, they are somewhere towards the side of Hacienda or Saint Martin. Yes, they are in the city of Saint Martin. Definitely in terms of the resources and loot they are going to have, they are going to be pretty much loaded. Their bags are going to be full of the resources required in the map of Miramar. But Stalwart Esports, yesterday it was Miramar where they showcased the fantastic performance by getting 19 finishes. And if I'm not wrong, 19 are the highest finishes we have up until now. So I'm hoping to see a same performance from the side of Stalwart Esports this time, because last Erangel was not in their favor at all.
No, it was nowhere close to what they expected from them. But hopefully today is going to be a different day. For now, we've got STE, a team that you picked, Shadow, that you would love to walk away. Would love to see them walk away with a chicken dinner. We'll come back to that because right now it is SITM who have led the charge in terms of being very, very determined to get the elimination points in their bag against Eliminate Crew. Apart from that, also we of course did see DRS losing out on two of their players, and that too was none other than NB Esports. So tough luck for the real soldiers right here on the map of Miramar, as we're only left with Delta and Killer YT. Still, two can do a lot of damage. It is, after all, the map of Miramar. If you find yourself a decent position in the zone itself, then automatically you can just hang it out, roam around, not roam around, of course, but just lay low and hope that nobody enters your compound. But we know that DRS players are not like that. They would love to, if given the opportunity, take on shots against their opponents, get their elimination points increased, rather than playing it safe.
Well, certainly elimination points they want to have, but right now the position they are having, I don't think they can grab too many of it. On the other side, Elementrix lost one of their own because of the players of High Voltage. High Voltage, again, being the king of the hills, they have the entire control of that Picado mountain, and the information they can grab from this position is going to be so much. And Elementrix, well, they were not anticipating the players of High Voltage at this particular position, because of which they lost one player. Now the numbers are definitely not in their favor. On the other side, we have the players of Abrupt Slayers also losing out onto one of their player. So there are 4 teams who lost players at the very initial stage of the game. But NV Esports, this is a team that impressed me the most on day number 1, and time and again they showcase the same performance. This time also having a very good start, 2 elimination points already in their pockets, and even in terms of the position also, they are already inside the circle towards somewhere towards the northern side, so they do have a good position also.
Let's see though where exactly are they going to end up, because in the initial moments of the game, if you're able to get to the gun earlier than your opponent, then automatically you are the Batman to that conversation, and that is what NB Esports were. But now, as we move in slowly and steadily, where all the teams get their loot segregated, that's when we'll have to come back to the conversation as to what can we expect right here from NB Esports. But apart from them, their consistent play still continues, but for Bad Intention, it just is a downward slope, which is just not looking good. All right, and right now we've got the first airdrop dropping in with the OM, which again I believe, Shadow, is a very important weapon to have, in especially in the map of Miramar, because it gives you. But you need to be that kind of a player who loves to roam around with the bolt action as well, right?
I love bolt action, but I'm not able to use it properly, so I never go for that AWM. I'm a mini fan, mini 14 any day, so that is the weapon, go-to weapon for me, M416, UMP45 or mini 14. But talking about the position of the team, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming in this particular circle, again having the northern control, maybe they are potentially looking to dominate the teams from the northern side, and if they play their cards right, the way SKYLIGHTZ is the only team in the northern area, maybe this could be their game. But in the epicenter, we have the
True.
players of Stalwart Esports, so Stalwart needs to be a bit careful, because they might be grabbing the attention of all the teams that are focusing their attention towards them.
Skylight Gaming, the rotation that they've made from the north, it really puts them in a very good position right there. But now mind Skylight Gaming, because we'll come back to them later as they get their bearings set up towards the northern side of the zone. Right now, we've got, of course, STE on our screens, a team that is out in the open, of course, but right now they're slowly limping towards trying to find where the opponent is at. Definitely a slow poked game is what we are a part of right here on day number 4. Compared to what day 1 the lobby was doing on the map of Miramar, this is definitely a lot more relaxed approach. Well, relaxed is, for lack of a better term, the word that I'm using right now, but it is only but relaxed, of course, in the background, as there's quite a lot of tense moments that these players are going to be going through in just a couple of minutes as well. Another 30 seconds, and we are going to be moving in with stage 3. Stalwart seems to have maybe spotted down Elementrix's player on the other side of the valley itself. Perhaps not yet. Nevertheless, for now, he's looking like trying to spot out wherever the opponent comes from. They need to get those elimination points accumulated as soon as possible. And we can see quite a diamond approach, scattered diamond approach that players of STE are doing right here at San Martin.
Well, certainly, Stalwart Esports are looking very good in terms of the position which they are having right now. But everyone watching the stream, we are very sorry for the technical issue that we have been facing. But trust us, everything has been fixed now. Let's enjoy the game, and we apologize for everything, every technical issue that happened right now. So moving forward, like you mentioned, Blotter, Stalwart Esports 4MB. 4MB also had a very good run in this particular one, in the previous one, I'm sorry, in the Erangel, in terms of the elimination points which they grab for themselves. 15 eliminations, and if they continue the same performance, I think there is no chance that any team in the overall ranking can topple them over. But right now we have the players of T2K going up against the players of TRZ, and TRZ are looking very strong in terms of the aggression they are putting in every single game. So let's see how they're going to face this one out, because T2K is also a very strong team.
Indeed, they definitely are. But for now, the best part for TRZ is the flank angle that Steel Shot has, the compound already being his defense. On the other side, for T2K, two of the players are creating that flank. That's going to be Jane and Sandesh, well, trying to get information, if not a flank, of course. But the other two are the only ones who have the compound safety going for them. That's going to be Suyog and Reg. So a tricky fight for T2K to take care of. But let's see how exactly they're going to be approaching. Of course, quite a lot of throwables are being utilized from the side of T2K. And Suyog on the backlines with the Scarl is just patiently waiting for somebody to peek so that he can just spray them down. But it seems that T2K out in the open, they've got troubles, as it is going to be Deadeye's guys who seem to have found them right here. As we did notice, Jane and Sandesh were out in the open, and that flank that they were trying to get, the information that they were trying to recover, it all falters away from them. Because, of course, TRZ is in a better position. All the 4 players have a compound and a roof over their head to give them that cover that's going to be required and quintessential right here in this fight. But the St. Martin area, this is getting very, very markety right now. Old Bazaar-y, because so many teams are slowly getting closer and closer in towards St. Martin area. As we saw DE make a run by. And now back to the fight between, of course, TRZ and T2K.
TRZ and T2K, the position which the players of T2K are in right now, they are so susceptible to the grenades that might be coming from the side of TRZ. And looks like Mad Cat did get the perfect projectile, but his Molotov towards the side of Jane was so precise. Now Jane has been knocked down. Sandesh also goes down through the Scar Air, and T2K, the numbers are coming down. Mad Cat has been knocked down from the side of TRZ. At the same time, the way he's crawling, he's giving the position of Suyog to his own teammates. But now Suyog is going for the rescue mission. Crucial revival, because the numbers are definitely not in their favor. And TRZ, well, they lost one of the player. Mad Cat is still bleeding, and Mamba with the smoke is providing a little bit of the cover so that Mad Cat can crawl his way towards his teammates so that revival process can be started. But T2K, well, it's a 2v2 situation right now. And Mamba not having any resources, no grenades, no molotovs at all, just a smoke. So let's see what he's going to do.
Well, whatever he decided to do did not factor in because of the angle that we had being showcased on the other side of the team. Because TRZ Mamba, well, he along with, of course, his teammate are the only two. It is, like you said, perfectly 2v2 situation. But in that, we've got DE that could very well participate from the backlines. As of now, we've got T2K Rig pushing on ahead along with his teammate. But it seems like DE are going to be doing the job for T2K. And not only that, T2K themselves are going to be dropped down as well. But now we move back to another side of the game itself, where we've got Elementrix taking on shots against the players of High Voltage. High Voltage were able to get that revival on their teammate. I believe it was Jiggle who was dropped down. But nevertheless, I mean, all 4 of them are back up. But never mind, as my vote drops in, it is going to be Praveen taking it down, because it is going to be Raw officials who've now found the spot that High Voltage were hiding under. The rock that they were hiding under has been spotted. And it is going to be Raw officials from all 3 angles trying to distribute all the usables and throwables, of course, to get control of High Voltage's position, but High Voltage with the two-man split, that the game that they're playing, this is going to be working out perfectly for them, but that is only till the time Raw officials get one nade on point. As of yet, that happened on Praveen, but since after has not taken place. So Raw fall back. Of course, the high ground advantage goes in favor of High Voltage. Oh, my apologies. High Voltage Malik for now. They do get the high ground advantage, but Malik right now creating that flank angle is the biggest advantage that High Voltage have to be able to, of course, stop Raw in their tracks. But in all of this, one more thing that I completely misjudged is the Blues that is going to be catching up to them as well, as they are at the edge of the zone. There are going to be other teams that are going to be around in the vicinity. If this fight lingers on for more, it could be High Voltage that could be brewing a lot of trouble for themselves.
And someone else on the map, SATM last player has been eliminated because of a Molotov that came from the side of 4MV, and Probeen finds a perfect angle onto Reaper of Raw, instantly takes him down, but instead of looking for the confirmation right now, they're trying to inch closer and in a better position. Juggle is still hiding and looking for a flank that might come from the side of Zordi. The grenades that are coming in could be a little troublesome for him, and with that vehicle, both the players of High Voltage rush towards Zordi, instantly takes him down, and yet Uta is the last man standing. Definitely he has a height advantage, but that is not going to help his case at all, as Propeen with that UMP45 is going to knock him down as well. And Raw officials, now they're standing with only one man who is so far away from his teammates inside the circle. Maybe he can try and gatekeep the players of High Voltage, but 1v3 is way too much for him right now. Let's see if he can do so. On the other side, we have the players of DE Venom also going up against the players of Deadeye Guys, where Shifu Sir has been knocked down, and Deadeyes, well, they have been reduced down to 2 men.
Indeed, they have. For now, 4 metrical vibes with all 4 players have been able to get 4 defeat points confirmed. But we can see on the top right hand side on our maps, they are not yet in the zone, and in front on this top view, we can clearly see in front is going to be this huge opening that they're going to have to run in through, where of course Stalwart is going to be waiting, High Voltage is going to be waiting. So a love triangle being created between these 3 teams. Which one is going to be allowed to get the first step in to the zone? With that claw from Raw is for now looking very comfortable. He does not have to worry about it, and it seems 4MV have decided that they're going to be taking the long ways away, which is a very good decision, of course, because there's absolutely no reason for them to go straight in. But while that was going on, ASL, Abrupt Slayers, have been able to obliterate their opponent right now. And of course, we're left with only 10 teams remaining. This is going to be a San Martin circle through and through, of course, as all the teams have jumped in. High Voltage take on shots against the players of T2K. T2K had troubles brewing, and are now left with just a one-man army. Though we hear this could be trouble for Stalwart, as they are yet to jump into the comfort of the zone. And SKYLIGHTZ Gaming have already found a way. We saw them make a rotation from the northern side, and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming have utilized that to perfection right now. Pretty much in the center, getting all the areas checked, getting all the corners and the nooks checked. But all they need to do now is survive amongst the 8 teams that remain against them.
Looks like it's going to be urban city final circle, and the grenades and smokes are going to be of so much value right now. So teams need to realize that the micromanagement of the resources is going to be so very crucial in this particular circle. But somewhere else, we have the players of 4MV also trying to get few knocks onto the players of Bad Intention and High Voltage. And looks like Stalwart Esports, well, they have eliminated Prabeen. Now High Voltage is standing with only a single player, that is going to be Assassin, who is hiding in that smoke, and looks like Icy is hunting for him, looking for him with that buggy, and Tops with a grenade finds a confirmation onto him as well. And now High Voltage, they have been eliminated at 8th spot with good elimination points in their favor. But now we are left with only 7 teams and 25 players, and Stalwart Esports, they are towards the southern side on the edge of the circle. A good position to hold on to, because their backlines are entirely clear. All they have to focus is what's in front of them, and right now the team that is in front of them is going to be the players of Abrupt Slayers, at the same time 4MV.
Now this is trouble brewing between these 4 teams. As soon as the next stage is drawn, what if it takes its shift towards DE that we can see in the red? If that happens, then these teams, 4MV, NB Esports, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, They're all going to have to leave their compounds. The safety that they find by being a part of the compound right now, the stalemate that we're in, all we're waiting for is a change from the stage itself. The zone needs to move. Or maybe another team, like of course Stalwart being out in the open, could be the one that could start opening things up a little, start creating some angles and take down the players. But definitely from the looks of it, it is a little bit of a stalemate that these teams have gotten themselves in.
Well, definitely it's a stalemate situation, but for now only, because the moment the next circle is going to form, that is when the rotations are going to come in, and all these teams are just waiting for the next circle to form. If it tends to go towards a bit south, that is where the players of Stalwart Esports and Abrupt players are going to be rewarded. If it goes towards northern side, that is where the players of Bad Intention and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming are. But right now, the players of Stalwart Esports, they do have information about the players of 4MV. So 4MV better be careful. One wrong peak and there could be a knock that might be coming in anytime soon. And looks like Tops is already dishing out a lot of damage onto Dog of 4MV. And Dog on 10 HP, hiding in the smoke. But for how long?
Absolutely. I mean, the smoke that they created, the smoke wall has absolutely played to perfection. But again, I mean, Tops being on top right here, right behind the positioning of 4MV is going to be a little bit of sign of trouble for 4MV to be able to get out of this kerfuffle that they're in. And again, all of them deciding to, use those smokes all together at once and just rush through is not the way that they should have played this out. Once they knew that there was some team right above them spraying down on top of them, there was no way they're going to be allowed to get away from that situation. And that's exactly what happened, where 4MV, I mean, they decided to take the shift a little too early to get in the zone. There were two teams, NB Esports as well as STE, who were waiting to be the ones to eliminate them, and thus we've got 4MV getting eliminated. And like I was saying, I mean, Stalwart being the only ones out in the open can be the ones who can start opening this game to fight the battleground. And that is what Stalwart are doing to perfection, as they've reduced 4MV down to dust. Now they push on ahead to, of course, take on shots and get the information against the players of NB Esports making rotations. SKYLIGHTZ compound has probably been compromised. But what exactly will Stalwart do once the zone rushes in for them? Behind them, they're at the edge.
Well, certainly Stalwart Esports, they are on the periphery of the circle towards the southern side, but the circle is still in the favor. And looking at the position of the players of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming as well, they have to be careful, because if there are grenades that might come from the side of NB Esports or Bad Intention, that is where the problem will begin for the players of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. On the other side, we have the players of DE Venom also towards the eastern side. They are very close to the proximity of the players of Abrupt players. So all these teams that do have a good compound to hold on to, but I'm just waiting for the next circle. The moment when the circle will not favor these teams, how they are going to survive, how they are going to make those crucial rotations, how they are going to transition themselves inside the circle, that is going to be a very challenging thing for them. But looking at the resources that the players of Stalwart Esports are having in their hands, 8 first aids just on one single individual, good amount of smokes, good amount of grenades. They have everything required to get this game in their pockets. So looks like this could be their game to lose. But let's find out what's going to happen, because I just saw that Tops was getting shots from somewhere and he has taken a hefty damage.
Absolutely, because Stalwart, they were out in the open. They had to get in the zone, and that is when they were being shot on. But just a few seconds more, and then the zone will shift, and that is when this calm before the storm that we're a part of right now in this game is going to end. Which in turn is going to be the opening that we were all waiting for. But it seems Nurse from the STE has somehow blown himself up. Never mind that. We'll come back to that later, because his teammates, I'm sure, are going to be right around the corner to give him that revival. But SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, look at the passive game that they've played. They've got 0 defeat points till now. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming have a very passive approach in this, on this day particularly, because yesterday we saw a little bit of resilience from them, but today they all factored it down to how exactly they want to be able to change and utilize the zone going in their favor, and that's what they've done with a beautiful rotation that they showcased almost 10 minutes ago.
Well, certainly good rotations coming from the side of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, true.
But now we'll have to see if they can change that rotation into something that deservingly gives them more points. That is what we're waiting for. Of course, the smoke's being deployed from the side of NB Esports. Fistboy being the first one who jumps in. Again, he is the man who always takes on the charge. But this time, mate, you ain't going to be allowed because Stalwart's action up on top. He's going to be waiting. And on top of that mountain, he's got every team pincered down. STE, as soon as they drop down from that huge mountain that they're on, there's going to be no way that anybody can stop them in their tracks. And along with a little bit of help coming in from, of course, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, Buff, and Ninja and Nimma, they have been eliminated. NB Esports take a dump right here because 5 teams remain. And in all of that, Stalwart are the one who are making all of this happen, who are churning across in this lobby to get those points. They're sitting at 8 defeat points. 17 players are still alive. The only team that is not yet in the crosshairs of STE is apparently ASL. But that too, of course, is only a matter of time.
Well, certainly STE, Stalwart Esports, they're in a good position as long as the circle is favoring them. But the moment the circle goes down or goes away from them, I wonder what's going to happen. But for now, they're in a good position. Yes, definitely, like you mentioned, Abrupt Slayers, just because they are not in the crosshairs of Stalwart Esports, and at the same time, they are in the center of the circle, this could also be their game to lose because
True.
they're not making too much noise. They do have the numbers. They just lost one of their player. 3 men are there. So Abrupt Slayers are also looking very strong in this particular one. On the other side, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, things are not looking so good for them because IC is keeping a close eye onto the players of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. And the minute Asia is going to come out in the open, IC is ready. Yes, the smokes are there. The smoke wall is definitely there. But will it be able to help the players of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming to make those rotation? I don't know.
Well, I mean, they're playing with the minds of IC, and IC, he's all over them. I mean, he's definitely getting everything choked out, and along with that, it seems like now Stalwart are going to be making a little bit of noise against the players of ASL, but in the meanwhile, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming have moved away from the compound. The angle that IC had, he gave it away to his teammate, but they were not able to do much because the smokes deployed from the side of SG were a little too much, and thus allowing all 4 players to comfortably and easily get away from the compound that they were being thrashed on upon from the side of STE. But now STE, they need to be very, very careful again. I mean, they've got a lot of utilities, they've got throwables as well as usables, but now it all boils down to next 15 seconds, and that will dictate what is going to be happening to Stalwart Esports.
Well, certainly next 10 seconds is going to decide the fate of all these 4 teams, 15 players remaining. Definitely the defeat points are in the hands of Stalwart Esports, 8 defeat points, and Farhad just peeked from that window and Tops knows exactly where Farhad is. That is why he's taking a lot of damage, but from somewhere else, Rayleigh comes in and takes down Tops of Stalwart Esports. This is a moment when they have to go for the revival onto the fallen comrade, as this is very crucial. On the other side, Abrupt Slayers, they're looking so comfortable, cool as cucumber, very calm, composed, having the entire control of the circle, entire control of the compound which they are having, and looks like Sleepy, they are dishing out, he's dishing out a lot of damage onto the players of DE Venom.
Oh boy, I should have gone with ASL is what I'm thinking now, is the prediction as I had asked you. But now the time has turned. It is all gone because Abrupt Slayers, they've got the zone, everything working in their favor, they've got the information. The only thing they need to worry about maybe could be STE, but STE have troubles of their own getting down from the mountain without a parachute, of course. And the smoke is just going to be helping out the positioning of ASL right now. STE down to their final player from the looks of it. As we've got Tops, as he tries to, of course, revive Nirs. On the other side, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming have pushed on against the players of Venom DE, as Venom DE take a hard hit. Not 1, but 2 of their players go down, but SKYLIGHTZ Gaming themselves have only 1 player remaining, and that's going to be No Fear. So again, for ASL, this is the game that was written for them, and they are going to be the ones definitely walking away with this chicken dinner because Venom DE have been eliminated as well. Now it all comes down to STE and the rush and the push that they're able to make right against ASL's compound and the warehouse, for which, of course, ASL is going to be ready. But what a perfect spray coming in from Tops. Tops, he is destructive. He is a behemoth when it comes to the way he's able to make an entrance. And Nirs, of course, creating a flank from the other side is going to be the one with a throwable, of course, can definitely bring ASL down. Sleepy has absolutely no idea. He's still taking care of only 1 angle. Of course, with that, Nirs lost out on his teammate. He's all out, all is open. 1v2 situation. Bishol, Nirs, and Sleepy. These are the 3 players surviving in this lobby. And it seems like Sleepy is going to be the Sleepy's going to be the one who will get this game in the bag. He's been able to spot him down. Ners is down to a sliver of HP. And just like that, like I said, blah, 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 it is the chicken dinner winner team of ASL.
Well, Abrupt Slayers, we both wanted to pick Abrupt Slayers, but you
Ouch.
decided to go with someone else. I decided to go with Stalwart Esports. We both wish that had we picked Abrupt Slayers, we could have got one prediction right. You already have one correct, but yes, a very good, fantastic performance from the side of Stalwart Esports. But it is Abrupt Slayers again being the kings of Miramar, getting a winner win chicken dinner for themselves, 6 elimination points and 1068 damage. That brings them to the 9th position in the overall ranking.
What a game, what a play that was. Again, the only Miramar that's going to be played today was that one. And that one is done. And that again, I mean, the way the zone actually made the curveball towards San Martin, and so many teams were rushed in towards there, however, were hotched up towards there. And then Stalwart, what a perfect entry that was from them. Up from the mountain, started opening things up, started creating that stalemate into a battleground, of course. And well, in turn, sadly, they were not able to get a chicken dinner, but a perfect game from STE, of course.
Well, certainly a perfect game that came from the side of Stalwart Esports. At the same time, it was a game of the patience. Also, they held their ground for a very long time. They were having the control of that mountain area for a very long time. They were not overcommitting into any of the fight. Yes, they were knocked down quite few times, but on the other side, Abrupt Slayers, also the patience that came from their side, they were not peaking unnecessarily. They were not trying to push towards any of the team in the other compounds. They just waited for the circle. They just waited for the players of Stalwart Esports to come down from that height angle, and that is when they striked, and they striked when required and got the winner chicken dinner.
They definitely did, but with that, of course, let's also move ahead and have a look at this perfect opportunity for PUBG Gods to give you a small little update.
Your order is here.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Well, and we are back, and with that, let's also have a look at the most valuable player, MVP, coming in from this game and find out who is going to be apart from Stalwart's player. It is STE's Tops right there with 5 eliminations, 772 damage done, along with, of course, 3 assists and 4 knocks. I mean, this dude was all over the place.
Well, certainly he was all over the place. Stalwart Esports was all over the place because the way they were picking fights cautiously, and it was their chicken dinner, but they missed it again. But still, a very consistent performance came from the side of Stalwart Esports. A+B+C+D, they proved again why they are the kings of the Miramar. The patience they held, the way they held through their compound, resulted in the perfect winner chicken dinner. Yes, not too many elimination points for A+B+C+D, but still a good performance overall.
Most certainly, and with that, let's also have a look at the top players from the game. Let's find out where do we have top players coming in from. We've got 2 players from STE itself. We've got Tops and Nerds. Following along, we do have ASL Sleepy right there. A+B+C+D Sleepy with 3 eliminations and 714 damage. So again, I mean, A+B+C+D Sleepy played a very crucial role of, taking care of that flank that STE were trying to Yeah, it was Nerds actually from STE who was trying to, obliterate that. But Sleepy was the one who held strong and did not allow that opening for Nerds to, of course, compete and steal away the chicken dinner from the players of A+B+C+D. But moving away from all of that conversation towards right here, highest elimination, highest damage, highest assist, and highest healing done. It all boils towards STE, Stalwart Esports. Again, I mean, statistics clearly say, Shadow, that this team has to get a chicken dinner today.
Well, they ought to get one because I predicted Stalwart Esports in both the games. And the second game, they almost got it. But looking at the match ranking, they're still on the top, courtesy to the elimination points that they were having. 10 elimination, total of 16 points. And we have A+B+C+D on the second spot with 16 total points. Venom DE, they had a good run in this particular one, also at the third spot with 13 points. But the teams who are not able to perform again are going to be DRS Gaming, Elementrix, Raw Officials. Raw Officials, one game they shine and the very next game they fall down. The inconsistency that is coming from the side Raw Officials is something they need to correct. Otherwise, Raw Officials, I think they're delivering good performance also.
They most certainly are, and they are doing a very perfect job about it. Taking learnings from day one and how things were being played out with them, against them, and day two as well. A few games that did not factor in or favor for themselves, but now they've actually changed that pace, and strategy has been a bit more aggressive, which is what we wanted to see from their side, nevertheless. And in all, I'm happy for them. But now the main question is going to be, as we get ready for match number 3 of the day. And that too, of course, is going to be back-to-back Erangel that's going to be played out right now. Where do we expect Raw Officials to go, and how far of a leap can they take? Because it has not been an easy climb for them till now as well. And if we talk about speculation, then other teams have been so very much on point. But with that, before we talk about the other game, move in with the highlights and discuss all the chaos that ensued right here, where of course SITM jumped in, TRZ, and this fight from T2K was so gorgeous to witness unless DE participated and of course stole those kills away from Jane and of course Sandesh going down.
Well, certainly that was definitely a very intense fight that happened. On the other side, the way the players of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming came out in the open, that was something I didn't anticipate from their side, because SKYLIGHTZ is a team of high caliber, very experienced players. Yes, smoke wall was definitely there, but not enough to provide the necessary cover they needed at that particular point, because of which they were taken out pretty early. Otherwise, it could have been the game of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming as well.
Absolutely should have been, in fact, the way that they were, able to get the smoke wall created, move away from one compound with STE already on their back.
Yeah.
And all of that pushed aside again. Stalwart read, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming read the position and the placement of their opponent teams to perfection. But that's what the battleground is. I mean, no matter how well you prepare for individual angles and situations, in the end, it is just what it is. It is chaos, and chaos with, of course, a lot of skill. And this time around, it was ASL that got that. But moving away towards the overall ranking, the storyboard is still very clear about the fact that for Medical Vibes, they are in a league of their own. 160 points with 14 matches that they've played. Stalwart on the second, without a chicken dinner, is trying to catch up to them with 119 points of their own, but still, it is a long, long wait away.
Well, certainly the point difference is definitely too much to cover up in a single game. But on the bottom, we have the players of Bad Intention, Seal Esports, Elementrix, Raw Officials, SITM, I8 Crew. Even I8 Crew, I'm so very shocked by the performance of I8 Crew, because last time when I saw I8 in a previous season in a different region, they were dominating the lobbies, especially the players Sky and Nova, even Viper also. So this time I8, they're completely missing. They need to rethink, they need to re-strategize what is happening wrong with them, because the drop location is same. Earlier also they used to go towards the side of Los Leones, again this time also going towards the side of Los Leones. So what is not working for them? Is it the early fights they're engaging in, and that is where they lose out on few players? But I8, they need to do something. This is a very disappointing position they are in.
Well, again, quite a lot of heart being poured out right there from Shadow, of course, and we anticipate that hopefully things will go in her expected favor as well. Right now, it is time, of course, to talk about where are we expecting the prediction stage to take us, because it is back-to-back Erangel that's going to be played out, Shadow. We also know Group C, I believe now, is not going to be playing this third game, so that means Stalwart Esports, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, Illuminate Crew, as well as NB Esports are not going to be part of this upcoming game. So that's going to be played on Erangel. So, what is your prediction, Shadow?
I8C.
Oh, you just... Okay, I was going to say IHC. I honestly was going to say IHC, but wow, alright, no, that's a really good pick, because IHC definitely have the caliber and do have the potential as well. I'm going to go with Venom DE this time around, and let's see if they can get the rotations done right. Then I'm sure Venom DE also are going to be right around the corner, sticking around to perhaps get a chicken in the bag. But we'll see if that'll be the case or not, because, well, Venom DE, DEADEYES guys, they're all part of the same lobby right now. So a lot of rivalry, family rivalries and stuff that could be a part of it. But never mind, we'll talk more about that once we're part of the game itself. And talking about the game, as we've been talking and saying, it is the schedule that we'll talk about next, because the schedule is going to take us to the third game, and that third and the fourth game, it is going to be on Erangel. So I wonder if at all we can have any expectations in terms of the zone. Where do you want to see the zone now when it comes to the zone on Erangel?
Maybe towards the side of Yasna, southern side of Yasna. It's a very open field. There are no covers out there, and the rotations are also not going to be so easy. So definitely Yasna, because initially teams expect it could be a Yasna circle. They grab the city of Yasna, they grab those apartments, the buildings, and the moment circle throws a curveball, that is when the rotations come in, and that is when the teams start losing out to the players. So Yasna, southern side. But what about you, Blotter?
I love the Yasnaya portion. I mean, we spoke about this yesterday as well. There is a little bit of a water body right above Yasnaya. That's called a fjord. And it's basically an inlet from the entire water body of Erangel itself. And that area actually does become quite intriguing when the zone takes itself towards there. But you know what? That's all speculation coming in from our side. After all, we want to see where the flight path is, based on which, of course, the zone is going to be created from the PUBG gods. Right now, we're looking at a southern western start from the flight path, as well as, of course, the teams that love to go towards military base. We'll see if at all there is going to be one that could maybe take over Nova Rupnoy, because STE is not going to be playing this game.
Well, certainly Stalwart Esports, they are not playing this one. So let's see if any other team might go towards their drop location. But right now, Elementrix, they are heading towards the side of Ferry Pier. That has been their normal drop location since a very long time. But like you mentioned, the first circle, where the first circle is going to be. And talking about predictions also, Venom DE, they missed a chicken dinner on match number 3 on day number 2. That is when Abrupt Slayers got a winner chicken dinner for themselves. So maybe this time they could get it, because day 2 they missed it. Day number 3 they were delivering a consistent performance, but were not able to get a winner chicken dinner. So definitely they are a very strong contender for that winner chicken dinner in this particular one. And looks like my prayers have been answered. Yasnia Poliana is definitely in the first circle, and it's an eastern circle.
Absolutely, with, of course, no team. Well, few of the teams that right now going towards there. But alongside all of that, when it comes to the military base itself, it seems like 4MV, as usual, are going to be looting all by their lonesome, because this game we don't have Stalwart who go towards Nowhere Up Noi, and nobody else wants to go towards Nowhere Up Noi. So that's absolutely fair and square for this lobby. On the other side, I mean, you're talking about Venom DE. In the previous game also, today itself on the map of Miramar, they got pretty close to not chicken dinner, but a high fragging game and a high finishing game from their side. So the consistency definitely has been key and being showcased from Venom DE. But again, it all boils down to the rotation, because right now there was not Giorgio. Right next to them is going to be Seal. So the rotation they're going to have to make, and the decision that they make as to how they want to be making the rotation, is what will decide. But right now it seems like Bad Intention are off to a bad start, as Raw will find them. And definitely Utah is not going to allow that player from Bad Intention to be able to get away from this area without giving away his life, and that has definitely created the first blood. So we're down to 63 players. A good start for Raw, definitely. And we were talking about it in the pre-game segment as well. We want to see RAW officials do a lot better, which they have been consistent about. But today is the day when they have to deliver. And it seems like these two, Claw and Yetauta, they are in a class of their own today to start this Erangel, second Erangel of the day. Because this two-man squad is a army by themselves, having taken down two players within not even 1 minute of the game starting. Incredible feat from these two.
Well, 4 teams dropped towards the set of farm. One of them was Raw officials, SITM and Bad Intentions, and they have already done damage to 2 teams. It's only DRS Gaming that have been left. So definitely Raw officials are claiming that farm area belongs to them. The way they are playing, 2 elimination points already in their pockets, and SATM and Bad Intention, a bad start for them. I'm not so worried about SITM, because SITM can recover from this damage, but Bad Intention, what is happening? Every single time they lose on their players, either it's the drop location clash that is happening, or they are caught out in the open, or the split that is coming from their side. This time also, Bad Intention, they did see there are few teams that are dropping towards the side of farm. I don't know, but Bad Intention, they need to go back to the drawing board and figure out what plan B they can come up with, so that they can grab and accumulate few points in their favor. Otherwise, if this continues on day number 5 also, I don't see Bad Intention in top 12 or in the bonus match.
Indeed, very well said, of course, because Bad Intentions are at that junction where things have definitely started taking a huge curveball shift against them. And as you mentioned, I mean, week 1, the biggest objective is to be a part of that bonus game that will be played tomorrow, the 6th game that will be played tomorrow, where only top 12 teams are going to be participating. And the points that those top 12 teams accumulate in the Weekendy bonus map tomorrow, match number 6, well, those points are then going to move on and help them in the finals itself that will take place in April. So a lot that the teams can participate in if they're part of the bonus match. And that is really the reason why Shadow was right now mentioning that for a few of these teams, getting into the top 12, it is looking very, very difficult, highly unlikely for a few of them. I'm going to have to call it out. Seal Esports is one of those names, actually, who are not looking good, barely able to make it from one game to the next. And getting into the top 12 is probably a dream for them for now.
They came second in the South Asia World Card. So
yeah, I saw that.
This is also very shocking. The team that was dominating, they came second, almost became the champion, and now they are struggling. They are on the bottom. This is very shocking from the side of Seal Esports.
Indeed. It's just unexpected, basically. It's unexpected, and you still don't know, because we know one thing that we do know is the caliber is there. But what we don't know is the end of this league, PMPL South Asia 2023 spring season. And that is where perhaps the X factor could be drawn and a line could be drawn that, all right, this is enough banter for Seal Esports. Let's hope the best, because first week they've showcased their cards and colors are not looking good and right for them. Perhaps in the second week, who knows, the storyline changes altogether in their favor. But moving away from Seal themselves towards Abrupt Slayers. Oh, ASL, you cheeky devils. The way this team plays, Again, you were the one who was mentioning it from day one itself that abrupt slayers are missing, abrupt slayers are not doing too good. And then once they came into action, they clearly understood the lobby that they're playing against. They clearly understood the strategies that the other teams were up to, and they utilized it to their perfection. I mean, the aggression only when it is required, otherwise rotation being very, very key, and then the team synergy, which they already have.
Well, certainly, Abrupt Slash, Shari, and Sleepy, they are the old veterans from the side of Abrupt Slayers. They have a very good synergy. They have been playing together since a very long time. And when you have two players in the team that have good synergies since so many years, you expect good performance from them. You you expect good synergy from their side, and that was completely missing on day number one. But Abrupt Slayers, they have recovered from that thing, and now they're dominating. They're consistently performing really good in every single game. On the other side, in the city of Yasnia, we have the players of SATM also. SATM, well, they also showcased good performances. Yes, initially they were struggling on day number one in the initial few games, but later on, the way SATM started picking themselves up. Uh, but day number three again was not in the favor of SATM because
True.
only 7 points. This is very shocking. Like total 48 points sitting on the 15th position. If they're able to deliver the same performance which they delivered on day number one, I think SATM can be in top 10 easily.
Oh, most certainly. I have no objection in that, because that is what they are capable of. That is what they've showcased on day one. But looking at the zone is actually being a little too troublesome for quite a lot of these teams as they make a rotation. But look at that, Stalwart Esports, they took on a rogue nation of IHC, and that in turn has resulted in, of course, IHC taking a lot of damage as well. Sanchiro, perfect spray coming in from him from far, far away, trying to help out his teammates, has resulted in, of course, helping him out big time, of course, because IHC, two of their players are down. Stalwart Esports, Rogue Aero, this is the moment for them to jump on ahead. Godless and Zeol are right next to each other. A perfect spray right there with the DBS could very well do that action. A sliver of HP left, but Godless just in the nick of time. He gets that clutch, but not all by his lonesome because Aero was right around the corner to give that revival, to give that cover. And that is what has helped out. Of course, IHC down to just one-man army. That's going to be Alex. Alex, how much more are you going to be resilient about this, mate? Your time is done. And it seems I was wrong. Alex is not the final player remaining. Demo is still part of the fight. IHC's Demo is still about to turn this fight around. And it seems Stalwart Esports, Sunshare, he's going to be readjusting where he wants to be taking this fight. Or perhaps he's just moving away from the fight altogether. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. IHC Demo and Seal Sunshare, both of them have decided to take matters in their own hands. IHC Demo is hoping to give that revival to his teammates, but it seems Sunshare is probably going to be a little too closer, but both of them are going to be in the blues. Stage 2 is already upon them. For now, Demo, he's playing with fire because only a sliver of HP is what was left on him. He's only got 2 first aids, and now he wants to decide to go and, of course, give his teammate revival. They've got no vehicle. Yeah, IHC is done for in this game.
Well, looks like they are done because Alex is gone. Demo is the only man standing, and Sanchir has managed to give revive to Aero. So it's a 1v2 situation, and the way Sanchir is toying with Demo with that buggy, Demo did manage to take down Aero, but from far off angle, Sanchir takes down Demo. That means IHC, and there goes my prediction. Also has been eliminated at the 16 spot. Seal Esports, well, they have managed to grab 4 defeat point for themselves, but at the cost of what? At the cost of losing out on 2 players, 2 crucial members of the team. On the other side, in the prison, we have the players of Maptex Esports and the players of T2K, where Rig is hiding in the Wizard Tower. Rig has no idea about the players of Maptex and vice versa also. But looking at the circle, Deadeyes, they are right in the epicenter of the circle. They do have a good position, but they need to be a bit cautious of the players of Leo Esports because Leo might head in their direction.
Leo themselves are a two-man split. I think they might just hold their ground, but if not, they're in trouble because Deadeyes, they are going to be ready and prepared. But again, for Leo as well as Deadeyes, guys, the best part is the rotation that they've made into the zone is going to be helping them out quite a lot. From down south, we do have DRS with a two-man split as well. Trying to scatter themselves, trying to get as much information as they can. But yeah, DE looking very, very phenomenal. with the positioning that they're in. Elementrix still trying to find a way into the zone. Same is the case for Raw, for Venom DE. They're coming from the north-western side, but they've got high voltage right in front of them. And HV, they started the day off real strong today on the map of Erangel itself. So perhaps Venom DE are going to have to be a little more careful as to how they decide to get into the zone. But for now, going back to DE and their positioning. Now this is a tricky position to hold on to for long, because there are so many angles. It's all open, yes, but there are so many angles that, and so big as well as the compound, that it becomes almost impossible to hold on to this all by your lonesome. But that's what DE is planning right here. Let's see if that'll work out for them.
Well, certainly on top star is picking up a fight. On the other side, we have the players of TRZ going up against the players of 4MV, and looks like 4MV, they are in a scattered position, because of which East is going to be taken out from the equation. TRZ also surviving with only 3 members, where Mad Cat is still bleeding. The grenades are coming back and forth, and all this fight is happening around the shelter area. Steel Shot deploying perfect smokes to help his teammate Mad Cat, so that necessary revival can come in, because from the backlines Refuse can come in and take down Steel Shot, or maybe get the confirmation onto the following player. Somewhere else on the map, we have the players of Elementrix also going up against the players of Raw Officials, where Yeta Uta has been taken down.
Well, TRZ have played their cards right in this one. They should be able to get that revival on their teammate and then move on. But never mind that, because DRS's rules is going to be jumping in with a rule of his own, that he's not going to be allowing any of the downed players to stand back up on their feet. And just like that, it seems like trouble is just brewing and starting for TRZ. For 4MV, of course, Apex is stuck in the shelter down low. From the other side, we can see DEADEYES guys on top. Sir has already entered the shelter. He's going to be roaming about, and soon enough, him and 4MV's Apex could very well be in a 1v1 situation of their own. And on the exits, of course, TRZ is going to be patiently waiting. But up on top, DRS, we saw them bring in a perfect controlled knock. What else can they deliver right here against these two teams?
Well, certainly TRZ, they got 1 defeat point after losing 2 players, but we have the players of DRS also, but somewhere else 4MV, they have pushed against the players of DEADEYES guys, and Apex with the prone shot takes down on top Sir, gets the instant confirmation as well. Now DEADEYES, their numbers are definitely not in their favor. They lost 1 player, but on the other side we have the players of Seal going up against DE Venom, where Sanchir gets a knock onto Rally, and Farhad gets a knock onto 1 player of Seal. That is going to be Sanchir, and looking for the confirmation. But before that, Farhad has a job to do. He needs to heal himself, because he is down to 20 HP right now.
Absolutely. I mean, for now, for Farhad, the only main thing is to get his teammates revived. Of course, he's going to get that defeat pointer for himself as well, but the majority of the, of course, chunk is to try and prioritize on giving that revival. Also, since he has a teammate available, he's going to try and, of course, get that final player. That's going to be Aero from the side of Seal, drop dead as well. But it seems like Seal has a divine duty that he needs to be a part of, which is going to be to stop Venom DE in their tracks. And just like that, with a nade, he's been able to bring down another player. Seal Aero, Seal, the entire team itself, is creating a perfect switcheroo that we were talking about. And now this is not the same Seal that we were looking at earlier, because they're already sitting with 6 eliminations confirmed, and Aero by himself has still pushed on ahead, and there is still an opportunity for him to get this 1 point and another one, because Farhad is right around the corner. But right around, we also do have High Voltage joining in the fray, and it seems like the opportunity that was provided to Seal Esports, they have utilized it to perfection. But same cannot be said for Venom DE, because they are down to just a 1-man army, and the points they have, well, they have none.
They have none points. Well, Seal Hero, he became way too greedy by looking for that last elimination point onto Farhad, because of which High Voltage, who was in the close proximity, capitalized and eliminated the entirety of Seal Esports. Well, they do have good points, elimination points to work around with, but still, Seal Esports, they need many points if they want to see themselves in top 12. On the other side, talking about the players of DEADEYES guys and Abrupt players, they are in the close proximity. Maybe they can try and depreciate each other's resources by getting few knocks or dishing out damage. But look at Seahawk. He's in such a close proximity to Wally. Wally had no idea that Seahawk was hiding over there. He came out, instantly knocked him, and got the confirmation also. I'm very sure Wally is going to check the stream that what exactly happened with him.
Oh, well, he could have done nothing. I mean, he was just so very quiet. CEO said nothing at all, and Wally was just, in a world of his own, slowly just roaming around on the rocks and trying to create not a flank, but of course understand where his team could exit the prison area from. But it seems like whatever exit they chose is just not going to be able to work out much, because now no one but two of their players from two individual vehicles have already been dropped down. Leo in the backgrounds from Abatex. How much can that one player do? T2K Sandesh has been dropped dead. Not dead, sorry, my apologies. Has been dropped down. He has been knocked. He is going to be given a revival as his teammate is around there. Jane, of course, with a flank and a smoke, is going to maybe try to go on ahead against Maptex's Leo. Quite a lot of these teams that are being let go with just a single player that is surviving for them. Right now, it's going to be Maptex's Leo who's going to be able to survive from this fight at least. From Venom Legends also, my apologies, from Venom DE also we saw earlier. There was only one player surviving. But overall, there are 38 players in total. 13 teams still alive. As far as domination is concerned, well, it is pretty equal playing field as far as the eliminations are concerned. All the teams are playing pretty good and getting those opportunities converted. Elementrix, is one of those who are leading that charge with 4 defeats of their own, and we just saw them, bring in a little bit of a hampering progress for the team in the shelter.
Well, certainly in the center, we have the players of DRS, and looks like their numbers are also coming down. So many teams are trying to go for the southern side control. We have the players of TRZ, Elementrix, even the players of 4MV also. These teams are going to go up against each other. On the northern side, we have the players of DEADEYES guys already having a very good compound to hold on to. If they're able to defend that compound, I think DEADEYES guys are also looking very strong in this one. A+B+C+D also having a very good compound, but High Voltage are going up against the players of Leo Esports, and looks like one player from the side of Leo Esports has been knocked down. Let's see if High Voltage can get the confirmation, because last Erangel, High Voltage got a winner chicken dinner, did showcase a very good performance, but T2K, well, they got the confirmation onto the fallen player of Bad Intention, and Bad Intention, nothing is working for this team as they're down to only one man.
Just the one final player surviving for Bad Intentions. And that too, again, as soon as we bring it up, is going to be eliminated. No. It is. Yes, it is. He is going to be eliminated right there, along with, of course, Venom DE's final player, who will be lost to the cause. 11 teams in total remaining right here. Elementrix looking real good with 5 defeats of their own. Second, of course, is going to be T2K, but look at that. Deadeye's Shifu, sir, has taken shots against High Voltage Assassin. Prabeen is a little too far back. Malik was up in front, but there's nothing much that Prabeen and Jiggle can do. Or maybe they can, because an opening has been created from Shifuso right here, and Prabeen is going to be jumping in. And now it is all down to, of course, the utilities that could be thrown in. Shifuso is cooking the nade, but will that do much? Well, it seems like it could very well be the demise of the vehicle, but not the players, because Malik is around the corner. Prabeen and Assassin have already gone down. Oh, well, never mind. Malik is going to be dropped down. It is all thanks to, of course, QB from the side of SITM, but never mind that. It is going to be Deadeye's guys compound that is going to still have to deal with a lot of brunt from High Voltage, as Jiggle is still out in the open, but right next to them, of course, they have 2 players from High Voltage. But as we move on from that fight to another, we've got Leo Esports, a 4-man squad against the players of A+B+C+D. A+B+C+D have already lost out on Gangsta. They've got Chari already down. Vishal and Sleepy are the 2 man who are going to have to now hold the fort once again. A 2v4. Let's see how they do it. A 2v2, in fact, let's make it, because 2 of the players from Dio are already down.
But the players of Leo Esports are on very low HP. Look at the HP of Smokey. He needs to heal himself as soon as possible. But the Molotov that was deployed is giving trouble to the players of A+B+C+D, as Sleepy is the only man standing, and looks like Sus is already making the charge in towards the compound. It's a 1v1 situation, and Sus with the UMP45 ends Sleepy. That means A+B+C+D have been eliminated at 11th position with 3 elimination points to their name. Leo Esports finally showing a comeback. They lost 1 player, but still 3 defeat points in their hands. A good compound to hold on to, having the entire control from the western side of the circle. But on the northern side is where the action is happening, where the players of Deadeye's are going up against the players of High Voltage. Precise grenades coming in, and Shufu sir has been taken down. On the other side, Assassin is also bleeding. Trades are coming back and forth. Team need to go for the crucial revivals onto the fallen teammates as soon as possible.
They most certainly do, and it seems like Shifu Sir is going to be provided that quintessential revival right there. Of course, the teammate Slayer is going to try to hold the fort against the players of High Voltage. High Voltage are angry. They've lost out on Malik. Last time it was, of course, a different player from the high side of High Voltage, Assassin, who was dropped down. This time, again, a 3-man team. It is going to be Malik from High Voltage who they've lost. But never mind all that, because they are eager to get this compound in their favor. But what exactly is the retaliation that Deadeyes can come out with? From one side it is SITM, and Dobu has been dropped down. So many close teams from this small place that Deadeyes guys have been at since the start of the game pretty much. But now, where exactly are these 10 teams going to be leading us towards? Elementrix, we saw them earlier in action, and since then they've been very, very quiet down south of the zone. And we're yet to see some action from them. But it seems like action is still not missing from the game itself, because Prabeen from High Voltage is going to be making that opportunity. He's going to be able to bring Slayer down. Of course, True Love Sir, along with, of course, Shifu, were given that revival, but Prabeen did not anticipate a clear opening that was right in front of him, which Love Sir utilized, and that has dropped Prabeen down. So a 2v2 affair between High Voltage and Deadeyes guys could be anticipated.
Well, certainly they might be anticipating, and let's see what's going to happen. As Leo Esports, they have eliminated the entirety of High Voltage. Not the entirety, one player is still standing, but Deadeyes guys, well, they have managed to defend the very compound they have been holding since a very long time, and they have good elimination points also in their favor. One elimination point, but this time it is Elementrix Blotter who are capitalizing on the elimination points. 7 eliminations to their name.
Absolutely, that is the team. That is the team that I was talking about earlier as well, wherein, of course, Elementrix, they've been out of the commission for quite some time, but today in this game, they started off brilliantly. Of course, now they've jumped in with 2 more defeat points, so 7 in total is what they've got. And that is absolutely a perfect start from them from this game. But 4MV, DRS, Leo Esports, there are so many big names. Deadeyes guys, High Voltage, there are so many big names who are still part of the game, still part of the fight. But in front of our screens, there is going to be, of course, Refuse, who's been caught out in the open right there. A few sprays were dropped on him, but it seems like the cooked nade is just not going to be enough for DRS. They have spotted him. Gyante or somebody needs to make a push. They need to, of course, bring him down, but from the below, or rather from behind, they do have Elementrix to worry about as well. DRS, a lot of trouble for them. There we have it. A smoke wall is going to be created right here. And never mind, it seems like that was just a distraction, because Gyante is going to be able to deliver the final bullet, and that in turn will be the end of 4MV as well. We're left with 7 teams remaining. DRS, they've got Leo Esports on one side. They're at the edge, the southernmost edge of the zone. Quite a lot of teams actually that DRS is going to have to be careful of. But majority of them are going to be, of course, Leo Esports and Elementrix.
Well, certainly majority of the team who are getting the majority of the elimination is going to be DRS and Elementrix. Elementrix, this could be the game when they start looking for the comeback story that they wanted to create. The Southern control is entirely in the hands of DRS Gaming. Maplex Leo OP finds a perfect knock onto Liquid of Leo Esports. Let's see if we can get the confirmation also. But looks like there is no chance of confirmation. On the other side, we have the players of Deadeyes guys going towards the players of High Voltage, and looks like Jiggle has been eliminated, and High Voltage, they went bye-bye at 7th position with only 3 elimination points to their name. Deadeye guys looking very strong. 2 players still in the game, still having the Northern control to their name, but it is DRS versus Elementrix who is going to reign supreme in this one.
Well, the play that is being made right here from the side of DRS, of course, Delta, he needs to get a smoke wall created right here. That is what will stop Gimli, because one thing is certain, that Elementrix is not going to fall back from this. Again, the momentum they've created with 7 defeat points. Frag, look at entry frag from Elementrix. He's in a perfect position, but same can be said for Rules OG as well. As soon as Frag gets up, he's going to be sprayed on upon, and that's exactly where Rules deliver the OG play and takes Elementrix's entry frag down. And not only him, but also in the background, we do see Gimli going down as well. well. So it is down to a 3v2 affair that Elementrix, of course, could not have anticipated. Make it a 3v1. Orangey down to almost a sliver of HP. There's nothing much he's going to be able to do because DRS is going to be able to rule this fight for themselves with 8 defeat points confirmed. The real soldiers in the house, and they are now making a storm and their entry count because now DE are being sprayed upon. SITM were being sprayed upon as well. Slayer is going to put them down off their misery as well as SITM get eliminated. 4 teams remaining. It seems like DRS are the ones who are going to be making this game of their own.
Well, certainly they have annihilated the players of Elementrix over there. 8 elimination, 3 players still standing very strong. On the other side, we have Leo Esports dead as Maptex standing with only a single player, and make it 3 teams only because Maptex Esports have been eliminated at the 4th spot. DRS rules still having the southern control to their name. Leo Liquid trying to move inside the circle, and Rules with that vehicle is hunting for the players. But on the other side, we have Slayer from the side of DEADEYES, guys. The performance which he showcased this time, and not just this time and time again, Slayer has proved to us why he's such a strong player from his region, why he's so loved by his fans. But right now, the entire real estate control, the entire circle control is in the hands of the players of DRS Gaming. And the smoke, I'm so critical about the smokes. Yes, they do provide you a soft cover, but at the same time, they do give away your position also. And now Liquid has been spotted on by the players of DRS as at the same time by Slayer also.
Absolutely, what a play DRS has made right here. Just a few minutes ago, Elementrix were the ones who were looking in control, but DRS put them in their track, took that opportunity away from them, and now it is DRS, the team. A 3v1 situation is what they've got in front of them, but a humongous area that they're going to have to, of course, slowly, inch by inch, cover up. Hey, with that, Delta has a ghillie suit. That's going to help him out. That's most certainly going to be able to help him out. But we'll have to see if he's able to use it properly. And in all of that, Slayer, anyways, from DEADEYES guys, Slayer, sir, is already in the backlines. He's already at the edge. At this moment, he could very well give his life away to the Blues. That's going to be much better than giving away his point to DRS. It seems like Yante has already spotted him. He's going to be running across the street right there. Delta is going to be running across, rushing, but just that is all that final player could do. With that, we've got the 3rd game for the day in the bag, and this time around, it goes in the favor of the real soldiers. DRS has done it again.
Well, certainly DRS Gaming, they have proved to us why they are the champions of their region. Time and time again, they do showcase a very fantastic performance this time. Again, they managed to have the entire southern control, and they got a beautiful chicken dinner for themselves with 11 elimination, total of 21 points. And because of which, now they are in the 5th position, at the 5th position in the overall ranking.
Alright, and there we are. We're back again, and we're looking pretty good in terms of how the game played out, how it all worked out for so many of these teams, and that's what we were waiting to see as well. But again, I mean, the expectations that were being showcased from Elementrix, they were looking so good. They walked away with decent amount of points. We'll talk about that once that match ranking is brought up. But I'm definitely happy to see Elementrix utilize the opportunity for themselves.
Well, certainly, Elementrix, they did showcase a sign of improvement in this particular one, because Elementrix, they were completely missing out. Every single game they have been playing since day number 1 was not in their favor. And it's very shocking to see Elementrix being on the bottom 4 or bottom 5. And after this game, the confidence which Elementrix players were looking for, maybe they have found it. Maybe the momentum will be carried forward in the next game and the coming days as well. Because Elementrix, they are a strong team. They do have the caliber. They do have the skills. So, hoping for a same performance in the coming games also.
Absolutely. Again, that is what I would love to see as well, right? I mean, day 4, we spoke about changes that could be anticipated from the teams, and that is what we're looking at from them in terms of their performance, which is just perfect. But right now, we move away from that conversation towards the MVP, which is going to be DRS Gaming's Rules OG, with 7 eliminations of his own, 883 damage. That is bonkers. I mean, the precision in there with 7 eliminations, 883 damage. That is perfect amount of aggression that was being showcased right here from Rules OG.
Well, certainly, Rules was the guy with the vehicle also. He was hunting for the
True.
last player of Deadeye guys with that vehicle. Even Deadeye guys also, they had a very good performance in this particular one. Shibu sir, the way Deadeye guys held their compound, defended the compound. Even when the push came from the side of high voltage, they were able to defend that very compound for themselves till a very long time, because of which they do have the elimination point. At the same time, good placement points also.
Absolutely.
And talking about the top players, we have Rolls along with him. We have QB from the side of SITM with 5 elimination. Then we have Sanchar from the side of Seal Esports, Delta from DRS with 3 elimination, and we have Jane from the side of T2K Esports with 4 eliminations of his own. Jane is also a very old and veteran player who has been a part of T2K since a very long time, and I'm not shocked to see his name, skilled player. But talking about Aaron Sancher from the side of Seal Esports, this time they did showcase a very good performance, but that didn't last for very long because they were taken out pretty early in the game. Talking about the match summary, it is all about DRS, highest elimination, highest damage, highest healings done all are from the side of DRS Gaming. It's only the highest assist that came from the side of Aero of Seal Esports.
Indeed, and absolutely with that, we move on ahead talking about the match ranking. Leo Esports, 5 eliminations. SITM Esports, 7 eliminations. DRS Gaming, 11 eliminations. DRS Gaming, whenever they feel a little left out of the conversation, they rise back up. But in all of that, Seal Esports is the most important team to bring up in this conversation because finally they have delivered or started, at least in this game, to deliver a very perfect start to the game because they got 7 eliminations in this game. No elimination point. That is not what we want from Seal Esports, and that is what they've changed this time perfectly. I just hope they keep on doing this again and again throughout the remaining games that are left for today.
And same goes for the players of Elementrix. I hope they keep
Yes,
doing it
true.
in the coming games as well, because Elementrix, they were also missing out on 3 days of the starting. Fourth day, they have started delivering the performance we expect from them, and we hope that they continue to do the same in the coming games. And same goes for the players of Seal Esports, even Raw officials also.
Absolutely. Again, I mean, couldn't have said it better because these are teams that were not doing so good as soon as the league started. These were the teams that were standing out. But with that, let's of course do a recap of the match that we just took place and find out what all chaos was ensued. And this is where Seal Esports started going absolutely bonkers, taking on the players of IHC. This is something I said on day 1, or I don't know, I think on day 2, where it seems like Seal Esports and IHC, they've got a rivalry that's been going on since ages.
Well, certainly looking like the rivalry, but Aero became a little greedy in this particular situation because after getting 2 good knocks onto the players of DE Venom, he went to hunt for Farhad. That is when the players of High Voltage striked in. On the other side, Shifu said held on to his ground for a very long time, rewarding him with the second position in terms of the placement points and good elimination points he already had.
Indeed, of course. But now, as we move away from this conversation, it is time to jump in and talk about the upcoming game, which of course, once again, is going to be, this is Saturday, it is the Erangel day, and so that means that we are going to be looking at another Erangel that will be played out. But this time around, we know that there's a group change that will be showcased as well. So from within the group change itself, Shadow, where do you think you want to change your views from this lobby and of course predict a team for that chicken dinner winner position?
Well, this time I think Group B is sitting out. So that means 4 MV trained to kill Deadeye guys and banned Intention. They are sitting out in this particular one. So the prediction from my side is going to be Stalwart Esports.
STE to the rise, all right. Well, we'll see that, if that will be the case or not. Let's also, of course, bring up the overall ranking right now, as we do have 4 metrical vibes once again in a lead of their own. 163 points, 2 chicken dinners already in the bag. Without a chicken dinner is a team sitting on the 2nd position. That's going to be Stalwart Esports. IHC is sitting on the 6th with 2 chicken dinners in their name. DRS Gaming is sitting on the 5th with 2 chicken dinners in their name. So quite a lot of ups and downs and upheaval that we're looking at right here. I mean, look at Abrupt Slayers with 3 chicken dinners. They're sitting on the 10th position. So yeah, it's not only about getting that chicken, it's about getting those eliminations.
Well, certainly it's about getting the elimination because the entire meta, the entire format this season is focused on the elimination points. If you're not able to grab those elimination points, I think you won't be in the top 12, or you maybe you won't be able to qualify for the finals. But at the same time, I do want to focus on the placement points because elimination points every team is focusing. The thing that is going to differentiate could be the placement points. The teams that are constantly finishing in top 2 or top 3 position, grabbing few placement points for themselves, at least 2-3 placement points they are grabbing every single game, that could be the differentiating factor. So teams need to focus on the placement also.
Absolutely, and hopefully they will. But right now, once again, Shadow, you had spoken about it. What team, if you could once again repeat and confirm for our graph right there, to of course set that logo in stone that is going to be your predicted team for a chicken dinner.
Stalwart Esports is going to be Stalwart from my side.
All right. Well, we've got STE coming in from Shadow. That's going to be Bhavna Shokeen. And from my side, I would like to change things around and bring it down to the players of 4MV. I'm going to go with 4MV. I'm going to see if they can do it or not, because they've been trying, they've been delivering. They don't really have to, because if you talk about the previous game, they only accumulated a few bunch points. So I mean, and then on top of that, they've already got a lead. But I think that is going to be the safest bet, because IHC, they are not looking good today whatsoever at all. I anticipated day 4 to be theirs, but sadly has not been the case. But never mind. We shall compete with this, because when it comes to 4MV, we're looking pretty good, right? But Shadow with STE, well, again, statistics clearly say, I cannot even say anything, because statistics wise, STE has to get a chicken. Either, if not in this game, then are they going to be in the final one? We'll come back to that later. But for now, we do have that's what I was just going to confirm. Stalwart Esports is not going to be playing this game. So there we go. It is sorry, my confusion. I am just going through my Excel sheet and I'm going haywire. Stalwart is going to be playing. My apologies. It's 4MV that's not going to be playing. So I am the idiot right here in the conversation, Shadow, for having chosen 4 Metrical Vibes as the team that will be the prediction. So producers, if you've heard that, I've had a brain fart right here, mate. I need to re-choose the team. And so for that, I'm going to go with SG, Skylight Gaming, because 4 Metrical Vibe is not going to be playing this game. And, at times it just happens. You're looking at the screen, you're looking at these information over here and the other one over there. It just kerfuffles and therefore a brain fart. But never mind all that. Now we're set in stone. From my side, I am going to be choosing SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. And, of course, from Bhavna's side, it is going to be none other than STE. So let's confirm that and move on ahead and, of course, get this game started about. SKYLIGHTZ Gaming is my pick. Can they deliver? I mean, the rotations, if we talk about it, Shadow, have been really good from SG.
Every single time, SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, especially in the map of Miramar, also SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, they always tend to have the northern control of the map. And this time also in the last Miramar, SKYLIGHTZ delivered a very fantastic rotation from the side. It was only the smoke wall which they deployed was not enough to provide the necessary cover. Even on day number 1, when SKYLIGHTZ was missing out in terms of the action, they were delivering, showcasing good rotations. So in terms of the rotation, SKYLIGHTZ is always point perfect.
Absolutely, and with that, we are set for match number 4 of the day, the second last game of the day. That's going to be played, of course, on the map of Erangel right here. And once again, we're looking at a southwardly flight path. That's starting all the way from hospital in the west down towards military base. And I've been calling it out. I've been talking about it again and again. And this time around, PUBG gods, make it happen. Change the base and bring the zone down to the military base. Let's see if that'll be the case or not. But for now, talking about the drops themselves. Interestingly enough, we've got Venom DE still sticking to the North Georgia. Same is the case for Seal Esports as well. Down south of Giorgio is going to be IHC. And down below, we do have SKYLIGHTZ Gaming creating a league, well, creating a different journey of their own, so to say. But the most important is going to be who's going down to the military base. Is there any team at all? For now, DRS is very much in contestation. But earlier we've seen DRS go towards Milta as well. That could be where they could be headed towards. Oh, wow. There we have it. Statistics clearly do not lie, mate. It had to be the case. On day number 4, with so many Erangels played, you had to bring it down to the military base, and that's exactly what has taken place. Beautiful turn of events. Now, this is where chaos begins, because we've only got 2 bridges, right? We've only got the Ferry Pier Bridge and the Novorupnoi Bridge. There's only 2 ways you can make an entry and exit into the military base. Or, of course, either you fly or glide, or you go through the boat itself, which is something that TRZ actually can do. Because TRZ are already at the docks, right next to Ferry Pier. They can very well get into the boats that are going to be available to them and quickly go down towards the military base. Bright and early, that's the best way to be. But let's see if they decide to do this or not. And it seems like they are. Yes, TRZ is doing that. They are already in the water. They've got the vehicle sign on top of them. That is a perfect turn of events for them. Alongside that, we've got Stalwart going towards their known drop location of Novorupnoi with a 2-man split. But since this is going to be in the military base, well, actually, for now, it's in the military base. It could actually go up north towards farm as well. We've seen that happen multiple times. Exactly where NB Esports is. Those ridges and cliffs that are there from the main island towards the military base. So many times the game ends up throwing a kerfuffle to the players and bringing them down to the edge and that ridge where so many players just jump down in the water and try and hope for the best, swim across for a while, and then a few of them fight it out right at that ridge itself. But never mind, it seems like we've got a first blood situation going on right here where we do have Mabatex Wally being the man who seems to be starting this game off with with a knock confirmed into a defeat point. He is looking pretty good. But moving away from him, we do have Illuminate Crew to talk about. Now, for Illuminate Crew, a lot has been said already, so I'm not going to draw it out much. But their gameplay has improved and needs to improve a lot more in this lobby if they are to keep those numbers advantage in their favor. Illuminate Crew has rough games. That's what they've seen till now. And the rough game in this one has, of course, started off with their teammate going down. That's going to be Sky. 25. Alongside all of that, on the military base itself, we've got Raw, who's dropped down here. We've got DRS, who seems to be pretty scattered around over here. And now that they've seen Raw walk out of this, they are still going to, of course, stick it around and see if at all they find any other team in the vicinity. As far as the loot is concerned, again, when it comes to military base, you know you're going to find a lot of wonderful loot available for yourself. Rules OG, the man of the hour, with the AKM, and I believe the other one is the DP that he has. Roaming abouts with no team that he needs to worry about as of yet, because it's only first few minutes of the game. But wait for a DRS. There are going to be, of course, other teams that are going to be around in their vicinity. You just had Raw see you around in this area, so DRS are going to have to be careful as well. But overall, as we move away from there towards Pochinki, we do have ASL. Now, Abrupt Slayers are looking perfect because Abrupt Slayers themselves have had ups and downs throughout the entirety of the league, but they've made a marking for themselves. That's the best part. Now, when it comes to that, they also need to understand that, they're not the only ones in the room. There are others in the room as well, and that is what makes Abrupt Slayers a little bit of, hit and miss. But again, no complaints there. It seems to be working out perfectly. The rhythm that they've started off for themselves, it seems to be working out perfectly. And again, the best part over here in this game, at least as they start off, is there's no team to worry for them. Pochinki is all to them. But in just a matter of few minutes, the rotation... Now that is where trouble is going to be drawn a lot more. But Stalwart from Novo, they've got decent amount of loot in their bag. But what exactly are they going to be able to deliver with the loot that they've got? There's no team around in Novo that we've seen In all the previous games also that we've been part of Erangel, we've never ever seen any other team apart from Stalwart who would try and take Novo from them, which is definitely a good thing that they've created for themselves, because they get a really good loot as soon as they start off. That's going to be Stalwart. Even if the Blues catches up to them, even if it's stage 2, they stick around in the Novo, get their loot, and then they make a rush for the zone, which is something that again can be very well exploited from other teams. But right now it's going to be DRS's rules again in a creating of his own. He is on a wind as he gets another perfect defeat point right here for the lobby. Another player going down the dust, and this time around it's going to be Leo Esports losing one. But let's see though.
Well, certainly Leo Esports, they definitely lost one of their own player, but we have, like you mentioned, DRS Gaming and the players Raw officials in military base, but looks like DRS Gaming are not going to let the players of Leo Esports make an escape so easily. They did dish out a lot of damage to the vehicle, but for now the players of Leo Esports, they are safe. So let's see what's going to happen. As Raw officials, they are running higher in terms of the aggression they are having. So definitely this fight is going to be pretty intense, because DRS Gaming, the last game definitely went in their favor. So to have the consistency, it is very important for the players of DRS Gaming to have all the 4 players alive, and looks like they are inside the circle, very force circle as well. So they can find a residency in the military base.
Absolutely, and that is something like Bhavna just mentioned, that the consistency that is anticipated from DRS is what can drive them to the top. But for now, I'm sure the fans are going to be happy as well. DRS has been pretty phenomenal. Fans for Raw officials ought to be really proud as well. The climb that Raw has showcased over the number of games that we've been part of has been absolutely incredible. And perhaps it was just those early jitters that were stopping them, because again, I've casted yet out. I've seen Claw Reapers already play earlier as well. We know the caliber that RW officials bring to the table, and it's really good to see them utilize it to perfection for themselves. And it seems like now, as we go down to the map, yep, there we have it. There is no turning back. The zone is going to be going directly, exclusively on top of the military base, a square military base. But one thing that, of course, Shadow had mentioned earlier, which was the fact that Ferry Pier Bridge needs to be a part of it. Well, it is part of that. And right now, there is still so many kerfuffles and curveballs that can be thrown from this zone that it could very well take us down for the final fight towards Ferry Pier Bridge.
Well, certainly the bridge is up for the contestation, and we have the players of IHCD, Venom also. We have the players of Elementrix. So the military base bridge is full of action right now. So many teams that are trying to cross that bridge area, and it's not going to be so easy. Look at the players of IHC. They have no idea about Elementrix, and Frag takes down LX from a moving vehicle. Instant confirmation will be coming in, but now Frag also needs to be a bit careful, because it is 3 players of IHC whose crosshairs are pointing towards him. But it looks like he has spotted on Demo also, and Demo surviving on 10 HP, but another player of Elementrix comes and takes down Demos. Looks like Elementrix, the bridge camp they were doing is fantastic. It is working in their favor. They have managed to take down 2 players of IHC. Now Zoel is looking for the revival onto Demo, a crucial revival in fact, because IHC needs Demo right now. But Frag is trying to pin down the player, is trying to put the pressure onto the players of IHC, so this revival rescue mission is not going to be so easy. The smokes are definitely there, but look at the position of Frag. Godless this time. It is going to be Godless who gets taken down, and IHC, is it going to be their demise?
It seems unlikely for them to get out of this, that's for sure. Unless they try and jump in the water, which again is not a possibility for them anymore, because they're out in the open. The only smokes they've deployed is out towards close to entry frag. And entry frag again, I mean, sticking to his name, entry ain't going to be allowed, mate. It's going to be fragged down, and that's exactly what has taken place right here. But eventually, the bait takes on through. Entry frag is down. Zeol, of course, with that, has been provided an opening. IHC are probably going to try and fall back perhaps this time around, or maybe not. Not going to be allowed from, because all the angles that you see, Elementrix, they are absolutely prepared to hunker down whatever teams comes in across this bridge. And that is what Astra tried to do over there as well. Now Gimli pushes on ahead. There is no way they're going to allow IHC's Demo and Zeol to get out there alive. And that is the entire domination that we were waiting to see on the bridge. And that is in turn something that Astra is going to be, of course, running away from because he's burning alive. But that's okay. With just a sliver of HP left, he gets it done on time. He's got no HP left whatsoever at all. It was thanks to the boost that he had created earlier, or rather taken earlier, that resulted in him not losing out his life over there. But what a start to the game this has been. And with that, now Elementary X has been able to get a perfect start. 4 defeat points, but 2 of their teammates are down. Gimli along with Fragboy are going to be given that revival. They need to clear off that bridge as soon as they possibly can, because it is going to be very much a lot of teams taking this journey, taking this way through to enter the zone. But on the side, we've got a bit of a stalemate between the players of Illuminate Crew and Raw.
Well, certainly I8 and Raw might go up against each other, but because of the play zone, the players of Steel and SITM are also struggling, and looks like it is the player of SITM that has been taken down by the play zone. But somewhere else on the map, Brupsless also did manage to find 3 players of Venom DE and got 3 elimination points. But look at the players of I8. They have managed to take down Reaper from the side of Raw. This revival is not going to be so easy because Reaper is out there in the open, and there is no time as well because Viper with the AKM gets a confirmation onto him. And now Woofus is looking for one more knock onto the players of Raw. The way the players of I8 have surrounded the players of Raw officials, they pretty much can't do anything in this situation. Yes, the smokes are definitely there, but are they going to be enough? Because Woofus do have a height advantage, do have a better position as compared to the players of Raw officials. And the way he's charging, switching to FPV mode, Raw officials, how they are going to survive this, man, I don't know, because Nova is also there to back Woofus in the situation, and Zordi is still hiding in the smoke, and Nova takes down Claw. That means Zordi is the only man standing. Make it 2+ standing, not just Zordi, because Zordi has been taken down, and Geta Uta is the last man standing from the side of Raw officials. And looks like Viper do know exactly where Geta Uta is, but before he do anything, a retaliation grenade comes in and takes down Viper.
Oh, that's a crack of burning in your face. That's not how it should be, but nevertheless, it has been done. Wait, what? No. How is Skylight Gaming been eliminated this early? That was my prediction, but again, based on the zone, it is definitely understandable. Skylight Gaming, for this rotation, it was really hard. But on the other front, Illuminate True, what a perfect play this was from their side. Again, the communication was so very much on point from the side of Illuminate Crew as they took down Raw. And now, with the points accumulated for themselves, they're going to also make a rotation to get out of the blues and into the zone. 13 teams with 42 players alive. This bridge is going to be the only thing that High Voltage has, because as soon as they jump down, they're going to be given away information. The blues is actually slowly but steadily going to be closing in towards their positioning as well. And that is something that I'm sure High Voltage are not going to be happy about. But Elementary X, the way that they played previously as well as this game, they're looking very, very good. And what is happening over here? Illuminate Crew are brewing something new in terms of their gameplay, because look at the amount of destruction they're doing. They just got eliminated. They just eliminated Raw, and now they pushed on their position against the players of STE, where IC has been dropped down, but a perfect retaliation, and of course a drought coming in where Viper also goes down. So it has been a trade between these two teams, but the fight is not yet done.
The controlled aggression is the key. That is something Viper needs to realize. He was out there in the blue, and that is when he strike towards the players of Stalwart Esports, and now Stalwart Esports are punishing the players of I8. Looks like there is no chance to save Viper in this situation, and he's lost to the cause. Now I8 is surviving with only 2 players. Stalwart Esports, well, they have managed to go for the rescue mission onto the fallen player. Look at the position of Stalwart Esports. The circle is definitely favoring them. They have the entire eastern control. Right now, they are on the edge of the circle. That is a usual gameplay of Stalwart Esports. They likes to play from the periphery, but on the bridge they still have the players of High Voltage, and how they are going to cross that bridge is a big challenge, because Elementary X, they are placed perfectly, stop the players of High Voltage in their tracks.
Look at this, Venom DE relay utilizing, oh my word, oh sad mate, sad. He was trying his level best. He was being so very cheeky. I thought High Voltage did not know, but Praveen, his ears are like bat. He realizes where they're at, and that in turn, of course, was the last player from Venom DE. But never mind that, a jumping action play being showcased right here from Seal Esports' Aero as he brings down Elementrix's Orangey. Elementrix is down to a 3-man squad, but they're still holding on steady and strong right at that bridge. With that, Seal Esports have trouble of their own because Illuminate Crew has caught on to them as Sanchir has been dropped down. It seems like Sanchir is going to be lost to the cause as Seal Esports have lost 2 players now. Only 2 more remain.
Well, certainly 2 players remaining, but look at the position of Frag. He's so close to Jiggle. Just the difference is Frag is under the bridge and Jiggle is over the bridge area. But we have Maptex going up against the players of Abdropslers, and looks like Valley has been eliminated. And now Maptex is surviving with only 3 players. Valley was the main assaulter from their team. And now Maptex, they have to do without their main assaulter. And Abrupt are giving a hard time to the players of Maptex Esports as they're trying to transition themselves inside the circle. They are placed perfectly to gatekeep them, but they have a job to do. That is, go for the rescue mission, go for the revival onto the fallen players, because it's not just 1 player, 2 players from the side of Abrupt that are knocked on the knees. And looks like Maptex Esports, they have repositioned themselves with the vehicle, and it's not going to be so easy. Sleepy with a grenade might be looking for 1 knock onto the players of Maptex. That could be an opening and a chance to go for the revival also onto the fallen comrades, but looks like the grenade projectile is not going to be so perfect.
Indeed, it is not going to be so perfect after all when it comes to the way the game has been thrown out right here. For ASL, it is all a disarray for sure. Sleepy, caught out in the open like this, that is bad, that is sad. Something that, of course, they cannot do much about. But right now, of course, as we look at the 11 teams that are remaining, Mavitex, they are in control of the fights. I mean, they are slowly but surely moving on ahead. Look at TRZ as well, with 8 defeat points confirmed for them. Hold on, is that a 0 or an 8, Shadow? I'm confused. But they're above Mavitex. Never mind, it seems like a 0 for sure. But Mavitex are the ones who are ruling in right now with 7 defeat points. 5 of them, of course, coming in from Wally, who's lost.
Well, certainly Wally has been lost to the cause, but Maptech Esports still having 7 finish points, and looks like they are going to eliminate the entirety of Abrupt Slush, because Shari has been eliminated and Sleepy is the only man standing from the side of Abrupt Slush. For how long? Because Sleepy, I can see in the mini-map the way he's trying to transition inside the circle. Leo Esports and TRZ are ready for him. He has to play the game of the patience. He has to be so very silent. But for how long? Because right now he's still few meters away from the circle. The moment the blue will start catching up, Sleepy has to leave the compound and move towards the side of Leo Esports. But somewhere else, the players of Stalwart Esports are also picking up the players of I8, and looks like I8, they have woken up from their sleep. They are definitely showcasing a good performance, but this time they have to survive, and they won't be able to survive for very long. But good elimination points at least this time. 5 eliminations to their name. They managed to survive till top 11. And TRS, well, they are becoming the reason of demise for the players of SITM, and SITM also gets bye-bye at 10th spot.
Well, this is a tough game right here. The final Erangel of the day before we jump into, of course, Sanhok. Right now, chaos being ensued right there from the bridge that Elementrix held. It is going to be Mabitex who are again, I mean, I was talking about it earlier as well. Mabitex, they are ruling in this game. The way they've pushed the ground, getting 9 elimination points in their favor. This team is one to deal with. Who is the one who'll stand up against them? Could it be Stalwart? Could it be DRS? Could it even be TRZ? We'll have to see. But for now, one thing is certain. Mabitex have taken this lobby by a storm, and they are still not yet done.
Well, certainly they are not done yet, because they have 3 players remaining. But talking about the numbers, Stalwart Esports, they have all the 4 players alive in the game, and the way Stalwart Esports is taking the control of the circle, they're looking so very strong. And I think I spoke too soon, but Seal Esports, they have managed to take down 1 player from the side of Stalwart Esports. Let's see if they can get the confirmation as well, because I can see the players of Stalwart Esports are sticking together. They are in a 2v2 split, so rescue mission should not be a problem. And yes, there is a revival. All the 4 players are again back on their feet, but Abrupt players, only 1 man standing. Leo Esports, this time only 3 men. So let's see which team is going to reign supreme in this particular one.
Again, though, I mean, we're left with only 7 teams remaining right now, and the 7 teams that are remaining are gruesome, are brutal. They do not want to let go of their opportunity. And right now, Leo Esports on our screens, they are trying their hardest. I mean, they've got the numbers slowly, but they've got the position. Well, that is something that they're going to have to fight for. And of course, they are doing exactly that. But from far away, this is what Stalwart loves to do. They are just going to be around the corner and getting those shots from up high top. And that, in turn, is going to be, of course, a cause for concern for Series Sports as they get eliminated. 6 teams remaining. Stalwart, the position they have on top over there of that mountain, is giving them a huge momentum boost. But Action, look at the flank, the huge flank that Action is trying to create. I wonder what exactly is he up to from that area. High Voltage Prabeen, he's not even looking in that area. They're going to try to, of course, walk away from this. High Voltage with just a 2-man squad. All right, never mind, Prabeen. The player has been eliminated. Just a 1-man army for High Voltage. And I believe that is Jiggle.
Well, certainly it was Jiggle and Leo Esports. They have to move 120 meters inside the circle, and looks like the players of Maptex Esports are placed perfectly to stop the players of Leo Esports in their tracks, as they are also grabbing the attention of the players of Maptex Esports. And there it goes. Leo takes down Liquid from the side of Leo Esports, and the way they have taken so many knocks, they are not having enough medkits in their hands to survive this. Even if the race comes in, I don't know how the players are going to patch themselves up, because Maptex Leo also finds a knock and a confirmation onto DRS rules also. So that means Maptex, they are picking fights on multiple fronts and they're winning every single one. 10 eliminations already in the pockets of Maptex Esports.
Absolutely, and the game is still not yet done with that TRZ. Rare, perfect spray coming in from Skarel is going to be dominating against the rotating team of Leo Esports. Leo Esports, Liquid and Haitam Dam are the only two players, but of course the Blues have caught up to them, and with that DRS have troubles of their own, where Killer White T, of course, his vehicle has been blown, and with that Stalwart are going to be stopping the players of DRS in their tracks as DRS get eliminated on the 6th position with 3 eliminations confirmed. Stalwart, again, the way that they've played this are looking very good. Being on top of this mountain has given them a leverage in this fight, but Mabitex are still not yet done. The momentum are still going on from them. But TRZ, what can they do to stop them? Because the numbers are going to be in favor of TRZ. 4-man army, it is what they've taken this fight from. But Baron, the Molotovs and the nades haven't really done much. Leo OP from their side has been dropped down. TRZ, a perfect entry is what they've created right here. Look at Mamba Cat right there with reversing entry into the zone, into the area from Mabitex. It is not going to be allowed though, because Baron, with his DBS, has held the fort strong. Just the 1-man army from his side. He's trying his level best, but it's just not going to be enough because the numbers were in favor of TRZ, and Steel Shot does complete the deed. And just like that, now he's going to be able to revive his teammates as well. It is going to be a 4-man army strong, but Stalwart is pushed on. It is going to be Ners, and Ners is going to be dropped down as well. This is chaos on this mountain from one side to the other. So many teams trying to annihilate each other, but the nade parade just continues on forward. That was the final throwable that Steel Shot had, and now it all boils down to him against, of course, 2 players of STE. But STE, they are not going to allow that. They are the ones ruling this game, ruling in charge against the players of High Voltage. And High Voltage have 2 players of their own, I believe. Or no, they won't be able to. Prabeen is the one who, for now, has been able to drop down IC. It is a 2v1 situation. Prabeen, all by his lonesome, held on and tried to bring on the spray, tried to get that knock confirmed into an elimination. That's just not going to be the case, because Action right here with that perfect spray can maybe be the one to complete this game. And from far away, Stalwart Action's teammates are also going to help him out. A throwable, will that help him? Yes, it will. Just like that, the game is done. Stalwart lead the charge with this chicken dinner in the bag. They are closing in to 4 MV's position. Slowly but surely, they're catching up.
Well, certainly they are catching up, and Stalwart Esports this time, even the Action had a big gun in his hand. It was Groza, and the way he was raining death and destruction in the map of Erangel. Well, Stalwart Esports, they were trying to get this chicken dinner from yesterday from the map of Miramar, but this time finally they get it with 11 eliminations, and they are going to be in second spot. Their position is not going to change in the overall ranking, but still the chicken dinner they were looking for, finally they get it with total of 21 points.
And we are back with the fourth game done and dusted, and that was, of course, STE leading the charge, taking the game by a storm, not allowing anybody to jump in and cruise in against them. Or, of course, with that, High Voltage tried their level best. Mabitex pushed on a really good high fragging game for them, but STE, there was no stopping them.
Well, there was no stopping Stalwart Esports. Every single game, in fact, on day number 3, it was match number 4 of Miramar, where they got 19 finishes in their hands. After that, Stalwart Esports have been trying, aiming for that winner chicken dinner in every single game. Last time also, in the previous game of today, they lost it. They came on the second spot, but finally they get it. And Stalwart Esports, definitely they are going to be in the second position. But I want to see which team is going to topple over for MV on the top spot. Could be Stalwart Esports, and if they get few more chicken dinners, maybe they can.
Well, we will find out, but right now, let's talk about the most valuable player, the MVP coming in from this game. That's going to be Action from Stalwart Esports with 5 eliminations, 527 damage. That means he was precise in the knocks that he was able to convert into, of course, eliminations. Along with that, of course, thanks to him and his teammates, they've been able to get a chicken dinner and get that much more closer to 4MV with 21 points from this game. It is a massive leap that Stalwart is also creating between them and the third position.
Well, certainly they are creating a lead. At the same time, for MV, they faced an early elimination in this particular one. And if that keeps on happening, because we are witnessing a downfall in the performance of 4MV, because earlier they were consistent in every single game. Now they do have few bad games also in their hands. So if that continues, maybe Stalwart Esports can come on the top. But looking at the top players, along with Action, it is going to be Leo OP from the side of Maptex Esports with 2 elimination but high damage amount.
Absolutely. And talking about that high damage, we do have 790 going in his favor. Walking away from that side towards the players of STE. Once again, we've got Nirze with, of course, 3 assists. Highest assists are going to be 3 from his side. Tops is going to be right around the corner as well. And then comes in the highest healing done. That is going to be Prabeen from High Voltage, the final player who is still standing, as High Voltage finished second in this game. But of course, that does not mean anything, because you only walk away with 6 placement points if you finish second. And thanks to the 4 eliminations that High Voltage were able to get 10 points to them. TRZ also a perfect game for them, a valiant effort being showcased from their side. 10 points awarded to them. Mabitex and Stalwart, look at the elimination points, 11 from both of those teams.
Well, certainly 11 elimination points are a very high fragging game that came from the side. But SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, their misery is not ending. There again on the 15th spot. This time even IHC were not able to do anything. They are on the 16th spot with 0 points in their hands. So inconsistency are coming from some big names, big teams, veteran players. This is something I don't appreciate at all. If you're a new team, inconsistency can come in, but if you're a veteran player, if you're an experienced team, inconsistency should not be delivered from your side.
Again, that is just part of the battleground itself, right? Sometimes it goes in your favor, sometimes it's just completely goes on the opposite direction. And that is something that, of course, these players have played the game and battled it out for such a long time, grinded it out for such a long time, that I hope it does not really matter much to them. But again, you know that anything goes when it comes to the battleground. And right here, this is the clear example of what goes in the battleground. Jumping across to get an elimination. That is how crazy and unique you have to be to get the game in the bag.
Well, certainly, this was a very intense game. Stalwart Esports, the circle from the very start, it was favoring the drop location of the players of Stalwart Esports. They like dropping towards Nova Ripnoi, and it was a southern circle, so definitely they did had an advantage also in this particular one. But the way they had the control of the complete eastern periphery of the circle, the way they annihilated the players of I8 also. So Stalwart Esports, kudos to them. They got the chicken dinner, but now it's time for the next game. Blotter is going to be
yes.
Sanhok.
It is going to be Sanhok. It is going to be a 4-tile map, and that means it is going to be chaos through and through. Wherein, of course, anything is going to go down and everything is going to go down, because that is what the teams have been delivering time and time till now. On only day number 4, we've got teams who've already crossed 150 points. But let's talk about the overall ranking first things first. And talking about the team that has already crossed 150 points, we've got 4 Miracle Vibes with 2 Chicken Dinners, 163 points in total. 112 of those is elimination points. So kudos to 4MV. But Stalwart Esports, like we were saying, they're on the climb and they are creating a perfect lead between them and the team on the third spot. That, of course, is High Voltage.
Well, certainly high voltage also being so very consistent, but we have the players of DRS Gaming also. Few bad games, few good games, but they're still in top 5 position. But talking about other teams, Venom DE, they are on the 11th spot with 88 points. NB Esports, well, they are missing today. I haven't seen them have a shiny performance on day number 4, 81 points to their name. But on the bottom, we have Bad Intention, Seal Esports, Elementrix. Well, Elementrix, they have started waking themselves up. So maybe in the coming games, I can expect some good performance from the side of Elementrix.
Definitely, the way that Elementrix has showcased potential, in this game as well as the previous one, it is looking very, very good from their side. And hopefully this continues on in the final game as well, because yes, they are going to be playing. So now I believe it is time that we jump in from the game that happened to the game that is going to take place, where we do know that Group B, C, D, and E are going to be participating. That means Group A is not going to be part of it. So no High Voltage, no Venom DE, Raw Officials, as well as TRZ are going to be bidding adieu to us for the day. But now, from the groups that are remaining, B, C, D, and E, where do you want to draw the straw? Which team do you want to believe will get the chicken dinner right here on Sanhok?
Have two teams in my mind. One is Leo Esports, because on the map of Sanhok, Leo Esports also do tend to perform really good. But I'll go with 4MV.
All right, perfect. And there we have it, the Sanhok game. That is going to be the final game for the day on day number 4. But with that, of course, keep in mind day number 5 tomorrow is right around the corner, where we are going to be playing not 5 but 6 games. Top 12 teams are going to be playing the final 6th game. That will be Vikendi. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. Right now, as we move in with the predictions itself, of course, we do have 4MV being confirmed from your side, Shadow. And from my side, I would love to see and take this crown by a storm, T2K. Hopefully, T2K should be the one that should get this game for themselves and get a chicken dinner for themselves. But will it happen? Will it not? Only the map will tell us, only the flight path. Well, again, flight path does not matter that much on the map of Sanhok, but the game itself most certainly is implied as to where can we expect the first blood, if at all. Will there be a very quick game, or will it be a snail pace performance, which also is hard to come by, especially on the map of Sanhok?
Oh, definitely. It is not going to be slow at all, because of the way the teams are playing recently. Sanhok is not going to be so easy, but at the same time, Sanhok is the most unpredictable map. You never know what's
Yes.
going to happen. You can have strategies for Erangel, you can have strategies for Miramar, but when it comes to Sanhok, it doesn't matter how many backup plans you are having. It comes down to the circle, the position, the opponent teams, the loot, the resources. So many things come into the factor when it comes to the Sanhok map.
Absolutely, and that is something that, of course, we've seen time and time again, that teams at times, are not able to cope up with. But of course, we've got the best of the best right here from SA region. That means that they are going to be delivering a massive punch, which they have been doing since day 1 itself. But in case we've forgotten, or rather, if you've forgotten sitting back at home, this is a 3-week affair before we jump into the finale. So this is just week number 1. There's still a lot of games that are to take place. There are still a lot of changes that we are yet to see that will take place throughout the entirety of the league. But right now it is time to jump in with the flight path and find out where exactly are we looking at this game going towards. Where exactly is the zone going to be anticipated? We've spoken about this earlier. We anticipated, or rather spoke about how it should go towards Camp Alpha Island. Right now, maybe it would, maybe not. We will find out. But to start things off, we are going to be towards the northern side of the map, going towards Hutton.
Well, certainly the flight path is towards the northern side. Now the question is where the first circle is going to be. But every single time, Plotter, we do see drop clashes happening in the map of Sanhok, especially in the city of Painan. Paradise Resort also, we have witnessed few drop clashes. So let's see if this time we are going to witness any change in terms of the drop location. Because early fight, early casualties, I'm never up for it because it's a RNG. It's a luck factor. If you get a weapon before your enemy does, you do have an edge. It's never an even fight whenever it comes to a drop location clash. So this time looks like it's only one team that is hitting in Painan, that is going to be 4MV. But in Paradise, we do have two teams, that is NB Esports and I8.
Indeed, and that is something that we'll have to see if at all they're going to be able to bring in that first blood situation right there from Paradise Resort. On the other side, again, if we move towards the Camp Alpha itself, we've got SITM right next to them on Camp Alpha itself. We've got ASL, Abrupt Slayers as well. So a little bit of mystery to be had. If at all there'll be a fight. Whoa, what is going on wrong over here? What is going on with the zone right here as it pushes itself towards extreme north? I guess it could go towards Hutton because that's what we've seen from the zone, but it could very well bring itself towards Paradise as well as it shifts down south. But never mind that, because this is a crazy zone. If at all any team wanted to have a boat rotation, this is the zone that is going to make it happen. But let's see if that'll be the case or not. Going back to the fights that we were talking about and predicting and anticipating, it is going to be, of course, I8 against the players of NB Esports right here at Paradise Resort. And I8, Viper and Sky are the ones who are leading the charge. Mondo in the back is also from the side of NB Esports, trying to cover up the flanks and, of course, the angles with a DBS in his hand. That is a very good close combat gun that he's got, but nobody wants to be able to take on that early initiation in this fight because Illuminate True know that NBS is going to be prepared and ready. So most of the times they're trying to bring in those Molotovs and utilization of throwables, but it seems like none of them has yet to hit its marker. Oh, never mind, my word. As soon as I bring it up, it is going to be Mondo going down from that nade, and Mondo's nade has also resulted in another team. That is going to be their opponents, Illuminate True, taking a knock. That's going to be Sky 25, and one by one, Viper has also gone down. Mondo, this is chaotic because Viper has not only been dropped down, but also eliminated from the entirety of the game for Illuminate 8. They've done the same for the side of Mondo and his teammates as well. So a chaotic fight between these two. It is a 2v2 affair between Woofers against, of course, NB's players, but never mind all of that because we've already got our first elimination of the team, and T2K now push in and rush in because they've heard the noise, they've heard the commotion, and they say they want to be part of this fight.
Well, they have spelled yard and they're looking for it. They're looking for the defeat points. They already have got 1 point in their favor. But on the other side, we have the players of Vikings. Nova goes down.
And of course, like Shadow was mentioning, now we've got Seal Esports as well, who've jumped into the arena of Paradise Resort. And Paradise Resort seems to be quite a highlight today on this Saturday game because it seems like everybody wants to party with a really good theme base. And Paradise Resort is probably the best that you can get. In fact, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow's Weekendy where Dino Land is also going to be met with us. But right now, Paradise Resort is getting met up with quite a lot of bullets as we've got Seal Esports trying to find an opponent around the corner. We saw NB Esports take an exit exactly from the same spot, thanks to Illuminate True and their approach. T2K had a different kerfuffle of their own. So quite an intense start to the game is what we're looking at, and we're still part of Stage 1 itself. And we're still not yet done, of course, because Paradise Resort, it is still covered between two individual teams. But let's see how exactly are Seal Esports going to be able to find their opponent, if at all they're going to be able to find their opponent on the other side of the map, towards the western side, northwestern side, I believe. We do have DEADEYES guys against the players of IHC who are making rotation. Of course, Slayer Sir does notice Zool running across, but good trigger discipline coming in from here. There is no reason for Slayer to, of course, initiate this fight. As far as we can see on the top right-hand side on the mini-map, the teammates are not even there. And there we have them, the teammates, Frost Slayer, Shifu Sir, as well as True Love, are going to be making their way through the waterways. No botation yet, but definitely swimming is still part of the same thing. So The zone is such that almost 40 to 45% of the entirety of the zone is in the water. With that, Abrupt Slayers making a drive through right here as they were able to probably, yep, there we have it. They have been able to spot out SITM as the spray was brought in. Quite a lot of damage has been done to the vehicle of ASL as well. So ASL are gonna have to kind of hold it back. Gonna have to still stick it around right here and wait for the perfect opportunity to get out and create the opening that they need. As we can see, ASL have lost out on Chari and Sleepy. So a two-man squad. A tough game for ASL in front of them. But right here, SITM. Dobu, he just managed to get out of that watchtower. He was spotted. ASL were on top of him. But then the vehicle got so much damage that they had to leave. So Dobu's been given a second life, so to say, right here. Let's see, though, how exactly he's going to be able to convert that into a game that goes in his favor. Not only his favor, his team's favor, more precisely. But right now, ASL's Vishal, along with his teammate, the two-man army ASL, are just hoping that time runs by quick. The 40 seconds that they're waiting for brings them stage number 2. Once stage number 2 is drawn, of course, ASL will have a better... Oh, Bishal, you shouldn't have done that. You've given away the information. Of course, SRTM's one player, Desert, is right around the corner in the compound itself, which means Desert could very well wait it out. Yep, there we have it. He's just energizing himself. He's getting ready for the Blues that's going to be catching up to him, because he and Dobu are going to be standing back. He and Dobu, along with their teammates, it seems like, are going to be holding back to get the final 2 players of ASL downed as well. But Bishal being very, very quiet. He's given away the information. He knows that there is a team waiting for him, but there's nothing that he can do apart from waiting.
Well, certainly he is waiting, and he's waiting in the blue. The players of Abrupt Slayers and SITM, they both are going up against each other in the blue. The blue zone is additionally damaging, giving the damage to the players. So let's see what's going to happen, as the players of Abrupt Slayers are on very low HP, and Dobu is already closing in the distance. He has a DBS in his hands. One perfect shot is all he needs to clutch at this moment. But the question is, can he clutch?
Is he allowed to clutch? Is he allowed to clutch or not? There's another question to be asked right here, because it seems like SRTM's Desert is the one who's going to be opening right here. Beautiful knock, along with Dobu jumping in with his DBS, is going to be creating the marker, and it seems like Gangsta, you have Gangsta out of here, mate, because ASL, Abrupt Slayers, are going to be the team being eliminated with 0 defeat points on the 15th position, all thanks to SRTM sticking it out to get those points for themselves, and they knew how important those elimination points are. No matter if we are being damaged by the Blues, they know the criteria right here in this season of PMPLSA spring season is to get those elimination points. And with that, I think it's going to be IHC's UMP doing all the action against the players of DE. We saw DE try and, of course, scout out the players of IHC's. Yol was the man who was caught out earlier, who was making a rotation. But never mind all that, because now it seems like IHC are the ones who've got the final nail in the coffin against the players of DE. The final say was that you get eliminated, we will move on ahead. And that is exactly what IHC do by getting 3 defeat points to their name, but sadly they've lost out on 2 of their players. With that, we move on down to the Lumberyard, where we've got, of course, Seal Esports against the players of Leo Esports. Now, Seal Esports, we saw the synergy from them earlier as well, and that is what is being showcased right here from Rogue, creating that perfect flank angle. On the other side, of course, Aero checking out the back, if at all the team that is stuck in the warehouse does not decide to run away from the back. Well, that one nade from Rogue, that perfect flank angle, has resulted in not 1, not 2, but 3 of the players of Leo going down. Liquid is down. There is no way that Leo can revive all of their players together. It seems like Rogue is going to be brought down, but will he be eliminated? No, he will not. He will have his teammates right around the corner to give him the revival. And with that, Leo Esports get eliminated with 0 points to their name as well. This is a hard-hitting turn of events right here for Leo Esports, because when things started off, Leo Esports were looking so good, but from far away in the corner of the Tutmok region, we've got 4MB Apex, who's slowly but surely just keeping a close, keen eye out towards the players and the warehouse of Seal Esports. that they just stole, of course, from Leo Esports. But never mind all that, because the spray connected its target and Apex has been able to get one of the players down. But it is a long distance away. There is no way that he's going to be able to rush in ahead to confirm that elimination for himself and his teammates. So the point will not be given, but the damage dished out is definitely going to be drawing a statistics in Apex's mark. But right now, the position that 4 Miracle Vibes are in is looking very, very good as well. And look at that. There are so many teams out in the water. Not entirely sure what exactly their master plan, the game plan is. But of course, right now, for all the teams, the most important thing is to wait for what the zone is going to be doing. Talking about Seal Esports, still stuck in the warehouse. They know where they're getting shot at from. They're going to have to find a way to exit this. But how? That is the essential question, but also not an easy one to answer. As far as the utilities are concerned, we can see Aero has 4 nades, 3 Molotovs, but absolutely no smoke whatsoever, and just a sliver of peak, and you're getting sprayed on. So definitely the players are caught in dead tracks, because 4MV is not leaving that compound anytime soon. That's for sure. Seal Esports are going to have to find a different way. And Sancheer from the flank angle, I don't know if you noticed that or not, from the right, he's already created an opening, and he's going to be crossing the road any moment now. But look at Becca right here. What a mastermind that is from Becca right there, to get on top of the warehouse to try and, of course, deliver some punches to the players of 4MV. Some lead in return to the players of 4MV. Let's see if that will be allowed or not, because 4MV, like I said, they've got a really good compound. They've gotten themselves scattered. They're taking out a lot of information for themselves as well. Nothing stopping them to get this game. But never mind that, because right now it's going to be Mabitex taking on the players of T2K, and T2K dropped down to 2-man surviving. But all this commotion, I'm sure, has been heard by the players of Skylight Gaming up north as well. Mabitex needs to be careful. They've got Leo down, but they will be able to give that revival, and that's exactly what Kese is going to be doing right now. So Mabitex still needs to be very careful, because they are in the zone, but right above them is going to be SKYLIGHTZ Gaming. And SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, the one thing that they want is this compound, is the entry into the area that Mabitex is in. And look at that right-hand side, top right-hand side. We can see the team in yellow. That's going to be Skylight Gaming. Come into the vehicle, jump in ahead to try and, of course, make a hulky play. Nima from one side, Mafia Ninja from the other. But Mabitex, they're all scattered in one side. And that one side is definitely going to be given a huge punch to the gut, as Nima does not understand what just went wrong right there. It seems like Skylight Gaming's Nima was keeping his crosshairs towards another team. Sadly, Mabitex definitely utilized it in their advantage.
Well, certainly Maptex versus SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, and looks like SKYLIGHTZ Gaming are on the receiving end of the grenades that are being lobbed from the side of Maptex Esports. Now SKYLIGHTZ have to do something, because Maptex are already rushing towards them, and the split that is coming from their side, AJ needs to do something. The Molotov is burning Valley, and Valley goes down, and AJ has taken a hefty damage from the side of Maptex Esports. He needs to patch himself up as soon as possible, but KSA from the other side of the compound is trying to lob you grenade. No, he's trying to patch himself up, and AJ heard that sound, immediately rushed towards him, and with that, KSA also has been eliminated, and Maptex Esports, well, they have been eliminated at 11th position with only 1 elimination in their favor. And SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, well, they have 4 defeat points in their favor. At the same time, they are on the periphery of the circle also. They have the northern control. They have the entire city of Khao under their control. And right now, they are punishing the players of Bad Intention. Again, caught out in the open. This is something I don't like about Bad Intention. Every single time they're caught in the open area, and they are punished in the open area. Again, this is the same thing happening with them. On the other side of the map, we have the players of Elementrix going up against the players of SATM, and looks like SATM are the one who are not being so lucky in this situation, because one player is already down to his knees.
Ooh, you know, for Bad Intentions, this is just rough luck, because they made that water rotation. They swam across, did not make any noise, but as soon as they got there, of course, it was the smoke they had to deploy. And as soon as you draw in smoke, well, it covers you, but it also annihilates you, because it gives away your position. And that is what SKYLIGHTZ Gaming utilized it to their perfection. But for now, the game is not yet done, because 32 players in total still alive. for Bad Intentions, all 4 players are still standing. Yes, they are in a bit of a kerfuffle right there, stuck right behind that tree, but still have an opportunity if at all their teammates who are on top of that ridge and mountain can find out the sneaky cat from Skylight Gaming who's shooting at, of course, Bad Intentions 2 players. But it's not going to be an easy task. Of course, we keep coming back to back right here at this angle because that is where the fight is. But it seems like from now we've got another fight, and that is going to be, of course, IHC taking on shots. Alex all by himself was caught out in the open against the 2-man rotating from the side of Elementrix. Gimli was down. His teammate is going to give the revival, but not before Demo has something to say. He joined into the party, and he joins in with a nade parade. And in that nade parade, all he wants to do is deliver an annihilating bunch to, of course, Elementrix. And it seems Elementrix are down to probably just a 1-man army that's going to be RNG.
Well, certainly it's only one man. There is no chance that he can go for the rescue mission onto the fallen teammate. On the other side, we have the players of Stalwart Esports, and looks like IHC do have an information about the players of Stalwart Esports, especially about one player. So they have to be very cautious in this situation because they don't have the numbers. Yes, Alex can get an easy revival, but it's a 2v4 situation. At the same time, we have the players of 4MV going up against the players of DRS, and in the finish feed, it's the players of DRS who are getting eliminated. Delta has been eliminated or dealt with. Now DRS is down to only 1-man army. In terms of the elimination, it is SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, they are leading, but this time in this match of Sanhok, well, looks like Seal Esports are also doing fantastic. They have 5 eliminations already in their favor. 9 teams, 24 players remaining, and GRS Gyante is still bleeding out. There is no chance, there is no hope for a revival. But Killer, well, he has to move inside the circle, and looks like the players of 4MV are waiting for him to come out in the open.
Absolutely. I wonder that team that is going to be in the center. Is that SITM? Well, never mind. The team in blue is looking very good in terms of the position that they're at based on the top right-hand side map. But for now, we've got 8 teams remaining. IHC Esports, the 2-man army, Demo and Alex are going to push on their luck to try and, of course, stop STE in their tracks. And this is going to be the fight that we've been waiting for. IHC against STE. This is going to be good. And from the back angles, it is going to be Bad Intentions. And Bad Intentions, I'm sure, can see all of this commotion that Alex is making. And just like that, IHC's Alex goes down. And, of course, that was heard by Action as he was roaming around in his buggy. And Bad Intentions player, he tried his level best, but now it's going to be, of course, Alpha, the one final player remaining from Bad Intentions. Let's see if at all STE are going to be able to scout him out or not. That is the same point of time as you move away from STE towards SG, Skylight Gaming. They've also got all 4 players still surviving. AJ has been looking phenomenal in the way that he's been able to get 4 elimination points for himself. But now it is time for, of course, the players to jump into the zone. From the blues, they need to get inside, and the sooner you get into the compound, the better off you're probably going to be, and that is what SG rushed towards. So let's see if they'll be able to capitalize that or not, but I still want to know the team in purple that already is in the compound. What team? That is Seal Esports. Last time also they did that perfectly. This time also they're doing the exact same thing as they stop SKYLIGHTZ Gaming in the tracks. This is looking sensational because everything now falls on the laps of SKYLIGHTZ Gaming Nima. And Nima, by his lonesome, needs to take care of 3 players from Seal Esports.
Well, it's a 1v3 situation, and Nima has a lot on his plate. All he can hope in this situation is a third party that might happen onto the players of Seal Esports, but it is Seal Esports who are catching up the players of Stalwart Esports in their rotation. Finds one player looking for the confirmation, but the confirmation won't come in as the revival has already started, and the players do have a hard cover. On the other side, we have the players of DRS Killer YT going up against the players of 4MV, looks like, with a grenade, gets 1 knock, and let's see if we can get the confirmation. Sanjay already down on the knees, and action with a UMP45 gets a confirmation. The numbers of Seal Esports are also coming down. Now they have been brought down to only 2 men, and STE with the numbers advantage, they have joined this fight. 10 eliminations already in their favor, and looks like the last player of Seal Esports has also been dealt with, and SKYLIGHTZ Gaming has been eliminated. Seal is still surviving. My bad, the last player of Seal is still surviving, but for how long? It's a 1v2 situation as 2 players of Stalwart Esports are stacking up against him.
Indeed, they definitely are, and what a perfect control this is coming in from the side of Stalwart Esports, because they dominate the game and the fight, and that is what they love to do. This time around, they showcased that exact same thing against the players of Seal Esports. Here we were talking about Seal Esports making a comeback story, but it seems like Stalwart did not like that storyline that was being created against them, and they came in and put a full stop and a period to that. With all of that done and dusted, 3 teams remaining. We've got 12 defeat points already confirmed for the players of STE. Elementrix get eliminated over there as well. The final 2 teams on our screens that are going to be Stalwart against the players of 4MV. Another perfect fight that should result in quite a lot of chaos and commotion, because both of these teams are well capable. They're both the teams that are sitting on the first and the second position. Leading the charge is going to be 4MV, 4 Mythical Wives, and then following them up close is going to be Stalwart Esports. But who's the one who lead this game in towards a chicken dinner? Nirze slowly, surely trying to get into a flank angle, tops along with action. A 2-man split coming in from their side for 4MV. Sadly, they're only a 3-man squad, but they've got the warehouse working for them, at least for now.
Well, definitely, they do have the warehouse, they do have the real estate, even if they want to go for the flank angle, even if they want to rotate. In terms of the control of the circle, 4MV are looking much better than the players of Stalwart Esports, but East needs to be a bit careful. Or the position of Tops, and looks like Tops' position has been given away. East did receive a lot of damage, but not enough to take him down. Let's see what's going to happen. Stalwart slowly and slowly are trying to converge the players of 4MV from 2 different directions. But the blue is already slowly catching up, and that is when the Stalwart Esports have to come out in the open, but they find a perfect angle onto Apex and takes him down.
Well, again, look at that zone. The zone was in favor of 4 Mythical Vibes, and 4 Mythical Vibes sadly were not able to do much, because just as soon as they got the opening of the zone, it was Stalwart Esports finding the nook and corner and just spraying them down and mowing them down. They do so gracefully, because in this one particular day, they walk away with 2 chicken dinners. STE on the rise, on the climb against the opponents. That is going to be 4 Mythical Vibe. I mean, this is just ridiculous. 4 Mythical Vibe have created a wonderful lead for themselves, but it seems it's only short-lived, because STE, they're getting closer and closer.
Well, certainly back-to-back 2 chicken dinners in the hands of Stalwart Esports, with 15 elimination in this particular one, and now they are in the overall ranking still on the 2nd spot. But I want to see how many point difference they have caught up to 4MV. Stalwart Esports, they were not getting a single, and now they are getting double chicken dinners in a single day.
Well, there we have it. Chaos is what we thought for, and chaos is exactly what was given to us from this final game of Sanhok. And of course, in that, Stalwart Esports, the way they took it by a storm. Seal Esports, they showed resilience. You know, that is the best thing that I'm going to say for them. They showcased some beautiful resilience right there in the previous game as well as this one. But the game is the game, and the battleground was, of course, taken over by Stalwart Esports by the end.
Well, definitely it was Stalwart Esports, but 4MV, I have to say kudos to them. They missed it. Second time, they were not able to get a chicken dinner on this very day, but still a consistent performance was coming in. I don't know what happened between the players of 4MV. It was the lack of synergy or communication. Maybe it was a communication. The calls were not made properly, because when Apex was taken down, the call should have been made directly that the players of Stalwart Esports are rushing towards them, but that didn't happen. But it was the MVP, that is the star player, action from the side of Stalwart Esports, with 7 eliminations and 661 damage.
Indeed, with exact 21 minutes of survival time coming in from action right here from Stalwart Esports, and only 55 healing done. He was in action-packed mood today throughout the entirety of the game, I'm sure, because with only 55 healing done, that is just bandages that he was able to pop, or not even bandages perhaps. But what a perfect game right there for Stalwart Esports. What a perfect day for Stalwart Esports is what I'm going to say, because of the way they were able to, you know, pick up the lead. And also when the overall ranking is going to be showcased, we'll also see how close they've actually gotten to 4MV. Because if this continues on, 4MV are already doing good, but Stalwart is doing a lot much better. So they could maybe by the end of tomorrow overtake 4MV. But again, we will talk about that because right now this is all speculatory and absolutely no idea what's going to go down.
Well, absolutely. But talking about the top players, along with the action, we have Rogue from the side of Seal Esports. This time, Seal Esports were also doing really good in terms of the fights they were taking. This time, look at the damage that Rogue was dishing out, close to 1200 damage, but not too many elimination points. Then we have SKYLIGHTZ Gaming, No Fear, with the highest assist, that is going to be 3 assists, but highest healings done were from the side of Orangey from Elementrix.
Indeed, and as we move on ahead, of course, this is just day number 4 stats. We know for a fact that the MVP is going to be walking away with $1,000 in the bank of his own by the end of this 4-week league. But talking about the match ranking and the points they were able to accumulate, Stalwart Esports with 15 eliminations and a chicken dinner, 25 points in total, almost double of what 4Metrical Vibes were able to accumulate for themselves. So definitely a kudos effort to Stalwart Esports, for they have been supreme in their approach. Same can be said, more so in fact should be said, for Seal Esports, sitting on the 3rd spot right there with 7 eliminations once again in this game as well, along with 4 placement points.
Well, certainly, but on the bottom of the match ranking, we have the players of ASL, Leo Esports. Leo Esports not having a good run in this particular one. NB Esports, this was not their day, only 1 point. DEADEYES, this time again, only a single point to their name, sitting on the 13th spot. T2K also having only a single point, that is also an elimination point on the 12th spot.
True that, but again, all of that we will change, and hopefully it will change as we progress on in these weeks, because for now, the storyline has been set and clear. If it all does a rivalry, it is between 4MV and of course STE. But we'll have to see when and if IHC come up and rise up to them and are able to, bring in that consistent play. Then perhaps this could be the perfect triangle that we were hoping for. But right now, it is high voltage's consistency that is leading the charge for them. It is of course T2K, as well as of course all the other teams that have slowly, Raw being one of them as well, who've showcased, in week 1 ups and downs have gone through from their side in terms of the storyline, but overall their main domination and determination is to be able to just overcome everybody else.
Well, certainly they are trying to overcome, but talking about this particular game, the circle itself, like you mentioned, was a bit chaotic. So many drop location clashes were happening in Paradise Resort. It was NB Esports going up against the players of IH, where NB were eliminated. Then T2K also joining the fray. In the end, it was Stalwart Esports versus 4MV. The lack of communication was clearly visible between the players of 4MV in this particular fight.
Indeed, it just went so very wrong in Array, but nevertheless, I mean, they are leading the charge. They were looking pretty good, so nothing taken away from them. It's just, hopefully, it just does not continue like this between Stalwart leading the charge in terms of the points and, of course, 4MV following them below, because that is where Stalwart might be able to, of course, overcome, and Stalwart Esports might be the one sitting on top of the leaderboard. But in all of this, as I keep on mentioning again, sitting on top of the leaderboard, none of it will matter in the end, because we are going to be working towards the bonus map, and that bonus map, only top 12 teams are going to be participating, which will be played on day 5 of every single week. The points you accumulate and on that bonus map are the ones that will help you in the finals. So, and then of course in the finals you start from scratch. None of these points are going to be mattered. Only the ones that will be factored in are the points you accumulate on the bonus map. So yes, it's looking really good for Stalwart Esports for now, as they buck up and of course try and overcome 4MV. But in the end, it's all a race to be a part of the bonus game, as well as of course the finale itself.
Well, certainly. If you guys are wondering who will get to play the bonus match, well, the bonus match is going to happen tomorrow. The 6th match is going to be the bonus match that is going to be played on the map of Vikendi, and only top 12 teams will get the chance to play on Vikendi and earn those extra bonus points for themselves. And 4ME and Stalwart Esports, we know for sure, are definitely moving high voltage with 126 points on the 3rd spot, are definitely going to play that bonus match. We have Leo Esports on the 4th spot with 110 points, but Abrupt Slur's inconsistencies are coming from their side as well. Maptex Esports also talking about this team. The Sanhok map didn't go in their favor, but okay, at the same time we can say Sanhok is not the strong point of Maptex Esports. It's always Erangel and Miramar where they shine the most, so they do have more good games as compared to bad games.
Absolutely, that is so very true and very well said, of course. And sitting on the second page right here, we can see NB Esports with 82 points on the 12th spot, and that is where, of course, top 12 teams conclusion is going to be made. But of course, before that, tomorrow also we do have 5 games that these teams are going to be playing. Well, again, 5 games for us because there are 20 teams in total divided amongst groups. So that means every single team is going to be playing 4 more games tomorrow, and based off of that, we will know who's going to be participating in the 6th and final game, the bonus game that we've been talking about, that will be played tomorrow around this time. That will be the 6th game on Vikendi. So looking forward to it. But again, there is a little bit of a gap that still can be seen between the 12th position holder, that's NB Esports, and the 13th position holder, which tomorrow will be overcome. But it's still very difficult to actually predict as to who from the 12 below is going to be rising up to the occasion tomorrow and jump in to the top 12. In fact, the conversation should also lead us towards who amongst the top 12 is not going to have a good day that could actually bring us down, bring themselves down, and not be able to participate in the bonus map. So all of those questions are going to be answered tomorrow. But for now, one thing is set, that these teams are looking forward to mayhem and destruction every single time they jump into the game, and that is what they've delivered. Shadow, what do you think?
Well, certainly, we expected high intense gameplay in the field of Sanhok, Miramar, Erangel. That was certainly delivered. Yes, at certain times in the initial few circles, teams tend to go for the slow paced game because now they have realized the importance of the balance between placement and elimination point. But the aggression is not stopping. Aggression is continuing in the game at every single moment. But looking at the team card of Stalwart Esports, we have IC, Tops, NRZ, and Action, with Action having the highest eliminations.
Absolutely, it is Tops and Action who are always, leading that charge. But alongside that, Tops, I mean, what a perfect name right there, with 3 headshots that he's been able to get from today's day altogether itself. So, a perfect game and a perfect day for STE, for Stalwart Esports, that is for sure. And they're only 10 points shy of 4MV now. So perhaps if this continues tomorrow, they are the ones who are going to be leading in charge as they play the bonus game, the bonus map. But for now, it is perfectly done and dusted, because they've done what they could, and they've done it so pristinely and immaculately that no other team could have been able to achieve this sort of result in just one single day. And that is, of course, Stalwart Esports.
Well, certainly, Stalwart Esports back-to-back 2 chicken dinners. This is the team that has showcased us. And yes, we were talking about it yesterday only, Blotter, that which team is going to be the one that is going to get 2 back-to-back chicken dinners, or maybe a hat-trick. And it is Stalwart Esports, none other than them. So,
True.
Stalwart, high hopes from this team. Yeah, high hopes from this team.
Of course, and with that, like you said, right? It's just the start. We're still yet to see as to what exactly will be played on down in week number 2. There might be a lot of changes that could be anticipated. One of the biggest changes that I'm looking at is SKYLIGHTZ Esports rising up to the occasion. IHC falling down the marker quite a chunk today, completely not being able to, convert any single game for themselves is something I did not anticipate. But still, tomorrow will be the final day of week number 1, and tomorrow is the penultimate reason for the teams to deliver the best possible play possible, because well, tomorrow will be the bonus game. Tomorrow, 6th game will be the bonus game that these teams have to participate in if they want to have a good start in the finals itself. But alongside that, of course, day number 4 does come in, and it has been a definitely incredible day. Of course, thank you so much for tuning in. Do not forget to click that subscribe button, but stay in touch, of course, following along with all the updates. We'll be back tomorrow for week number 1's final day number 5. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.